Let's go.
All right, we are currently live. I'm gonna hit that record. Good afternoon, everyone. What is going on? Episode 185 of the South Florida Gamers Podcast. I am your host, Silverback Senpai, and joining me right next to me is my co-host, Butter Punch. Hi, guys.
What's
Mike.
up?
Talk is at a mic.
My
bro.
B. Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
And we're gonna go over the rotation of people here on the podcast. So we're gonna start off with this guy right here. Introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? I'm BB. My actual name is Lazaro. I don't pretty much go by BB anymore, but anybody that sees me playing Tekken, bbuckets_ on Twitch, Tekken.
All right. Next.
Well, what's up, guys? I'm Dakoy or Chris. Nobody calls me Chris. They call me Fish or something weird, Oh, I did. But yeah, that's about it. I play some games.
Howdy, everyone. My name is Pico, but my government name is Daryl. I've been playing and competing in Tekken since 2017. Still playing, going out to locals, supporting the scene today. I mainly play Shaheen, but I also play Leroy and Fakumram. And I was a Josie main in Tekken 7.
Shout out Josie.
All right. And last but not least, but returning.
This is Ultima Wielder. My actual name is Alexander. Everyone knows me for the one franchise that I like to keep talking about nonstop, but I have some variety too. I didn't start competing Tekken until Tekken 8 came out, and Lars was the one character that just made me feel like I can actually play Tekken.
All righty.
Self-proclaimed.
That'll do that.
All right. So, everyone. Thank y'all so much for watching and tuning in, and of course supporting the podcast. Whether you are a follower or a subscriber, we greatly appreciate the support and the continued support as well. And we got another Tekken Cast episode again, and shout out to the previous ones. We greatly appreciate all the previous guests that we've had on. So with this one, we're gonna ask the same topics that we asked the previous cast, but I am gonna throw something in for the beginning, and that is with the recent new update, Tekken 3.0 for this year, quote unquote, back to basics. I want to ask everyone around the table, starting with Ultima Wielder, and then we're going to go around to Butters last. What are your current thoughts on the state of the game, Tekken 8, with the new latest patch? Wielder?
So we've had the conversation where after Season 2 dropped, it was not really good. And then the next patch, we said the same thing. We said where it's in a good step in the right direction. So I think it's the same thing with this, which I think this one works so well to the point where you don't have to spam heat as much. As soon as you pop heat burst and you use it, it's just gone. So I think that is definitely a step in the right direction, along with character nerfs that were needed ever since Season 2 all the way to Season 3. So I think some buffs are questionable, some changes that I think do need to be handled, hopefully, when Kunimitsu drops. And there are nerfs that are pretty big that I think are really good for this patch. It still needs a lot of work because I feel like it still has a lot to do if they want to win back their community. But it's a start for now, I will say.
All right. Biko, your thoughts?
All right, for the latest patch so far, like Ultima say, it is a step in the right direction, but all it is at the end of the day is just baby steps. They didn't really do enough. Like, there is some good character nerfs, and nice that they nerfed heat, especially with certain moves using more heat, plus heat dash nerfs, of course. But there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, of course. Like, certain characters need some nerfs, probably some need some buffs. And also just the aggression, like we're having season two, it's still the same case with season three. Like the aggression still needs to be toned down because let's be honest, this does not feel like Tekken. And I'm just gonna
Preach,
quote,
brother, preach.
This does not feel like Tekken because, like Inka said, this is kind of like just another fighting game, but featuring Tekken characters. And I like to try to play as I'm a solid player, and I like to play as fundamental as possible. But here's the thing. This game does not reward defense.
It doesn't. He doesn't even reward defense. Tekken 7 is from what I remember. Oh,
Yeah, Tekken 7 rewarded movement, testing out your opponent's reactions, reacting accordingly.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We're
we're
Yeah.
gonna get there.
Reacting accordingly.
Give it an hour. We'll
A
get
lot
there.
of the defense in this game feels like you're just pressing your offense at the right time.
Exactly. And I remember watching a bit of this Tekken House video where he's talking about aggressive defense, which is kind of sounds oxymoronic, but
Yep.
it kind of came up in my mind when I was playing
Active
ranked because a lot of times when I try to assert my pressure, of course, they love down crouching one and try to press back at
Down
me.
jab.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Down jab or G clefs and stuff like that.
Yep.
Heat burst itself.
Yep.
Many things.
Yep. Aggressive defense.
Whatever that means.
Yep.
Yeah. Will, you was about to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say like my G Cliff. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. 1-1-1. Eesh. Dakoy, what about you?
Yeah, so I think season 3 is probably like the initial patch was all right. It was pretty good. There was a few things that were questionable, and then the 3.02 patch that just released was really, really good. In general, like you guys were saying, the heat options use almost all of your heat, most of them. There's a few characters that flew under the radar or got buffs, like Victor or Lily. Like
Shaheen as well.
yeah, Shaheen, and like just some characters that just didn't really take a nerf, just go up by proxy, you know?
Right.
Yeah, in general, I think this is the best it's been since the end of season 1. We were starting to see like something going on there. Like we saw Knee start to perform, and that's a good sign that the game is doing pretty well, in my opinion.
Right.
But yeah, in general, step in the right direction. If we get two more patches like this, we could be in a good state for sure. So
Sure, now maybe I might consider giving the season 3 pass even, but not right now because it feels like they lied to their fans.
yeah,
Let's be honest.
I'm not excited for Kurimitsu. No offense, everybody, but it's gonna be ugly. I assure you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
BB, what about you?
For Tekken 8 Season 3, I've been going to the gym a lot. I've been dancing a lot of salsa casino.
He was doing that in season 2 too, though.
Yeah, reading a lot of books. Yesterday I had a molten chocolate cake.
Ooh.
You know,
Sounds wonderful.
that's what we're doing in Tekken 8 Season 3 for me.
that is.
My computer right now is in shambles. Like I haven't, I just unplugged everything to dust it off, and I'm considering maybe if we, like he says, we get a couple patches. The thing is that when I play Tekken, and we'll talk about this later too, but I hate losing more than I like to win, and that goes with anything competitive. So I feel like if I play the game, I have to treat it as a job. And unless I'm enjoying my time with it, I don't feel in the right conscience wasting my life energy, my life force. You know, if I'm happy doing it, if they improve on the game, there's a future in where I come back and play and compete. But for the time being, I'm waiting to see, and I'm waiting for them to earn me back instead of just sticking around and hoping, that they do right.
Okay. I like that perspective because I know most players I've noticed, and we've probably talked about this concept before, they've invested so much time in Tekken that this recent iteration, people feel like they're stuck to just have to play this game.
Right.
But you're one of those few people who's like, I'm willing to step away and come back if it gets better. And I think that's a really good perspective.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stick around in a shitty relationship if I'm not being valued. You know what I'm saying?
Very understandable.
I'm gonna be out, and then if you start acting right, maybe I'll hit you up. But
Yep.
I like
Yeah,
that. I like that.
That's definitely a good sentiment. I think for me, the only reason why I stick around to play the game is because I like what the game could be, and I like the depth of it, and I'm not good enough yet to actually get the full potential out of the game. So just playing right now is just more practice for hopefully when the game is good,
Right.
and
Yes.
I'll actually be ready for this if it actually comes to fruition for me, anyways. So yeah.
I feel the same way. Since me and Ultima, we started competing with 8. So the complaints that I would have are going to be completely different from somebody who's completely well versed in the game.
Yeah.
So
me complaining about it is more so I don't even know what I'm supposed to be improving on first. I need to get that handled first before I have like, I guess a warranted complaint for the game, even though everybody else feels that way about the game currently. And the second thing, community. I think the people around it just makes it way less shittier.
True.
When like
In
we're all
person, so much fun.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's one of the reasons why I've stuck around with Tekken, because as someone who came from Strive and going to Tekken, like the only reason why I stuck around with Tekken because I think the scene is incredible. The people there are really nice. They can definitely help you out with what you need to improve in Tekken, and the vibes are just pretty great. You know, I love the people around me that I'm surrounded by, and they help me get to where I am right now.
No, I like you too, man.
Despite what
Hell
happened?
But I like you too, man.
love you, Ultimate.
Yeah, love you guys too. But
You're pretty all right for a Lars player.
oh, thank you very much.
The best, 100%.
I think people would feel the opposite if they noticed that I also have Clive and Drag, but
Those are more acceptable.
Drag's cool.
okay. But yeah, despite the current state that Tekken is in, I still love playing games with my friends and just seeing the cool things that happen with us, despite being whack or the coolest thing ever in Tekken. Because when I play Tekken, instead of just like, there's bullshit and I can actually like lap something with people, that's where it feels like I'm actually in Tekken.
Yeah, no matter how bad the game gets, you still are going to have to duck, drag, down, forward, 1-4. Like, there's still going to be moves to practice that won't be removed. So
I literally,
At the
play.
very least, that's what makes it Tekken, because at least we still have options to counter certain moves. Like when you test out certain moves, you gotta ask yourself, how can I counter moves? Can I block and punish it? Can I sidestep it? Is it duckable? Can I fuzzy guard it? Like there's many options you can do. Like depending on how much frame advantage, disadvantage you have, I remember someone told me that like you have like I think 6 options. You can block, you can crouch block, you can sidestep, you can sidestep left, you can sidestep right, sidewalk left, sidewalk right, right. You know what I mean? Or press a button. 7 options really.
Yeah, I feel like previously in like older Tekkens, based off what I've been hearing, the priority of that list became movement. And then in Tekken 8, it flipped where pressing buttons became the more priority.
That's the thing. Like movement was the main priority, especially with previous Tekken games. Especially the likes from I hear a lot Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection.
Yeah, everybody I hear loves that.
everybody that you ask what's their favorite Tekken game, even if it's a different Tekken, they'll say Tekken 5 DR is like the best Tekken game ever made. Like you have everything there that makes what Tekken is.
Yeah, a lot of characters sticking on you like glue makes it so that you really need to press, and that's not a great option because it's like I'm -5, right?
Right.
And it's like I have to press here. It's like it doesn't logically make sense when you have to press. So you have to get a read on stuff, so it ends up ultimately being a 50-50 in the mind, depending on what you see them throw.
Right. Oh my goodness. Especially with the plus frame loops going back and back and back.
Yeah, or if you're up against Victor, you die.
Exactly. Yep.
Or if you play against a Lydia, then
Lydia.
goodbye.
Lydia's.
Oh, Lydia's just an actual 50-50 character.
I used to be a
gotta guess.
Safina hater, but then I started to like Safina, and now I have a hatred towards Lydia.
Yeah, like
I think.
Sorry, True.
Sorry to cut you off, but I think it was. I don't know if it was Enoch that once said, or maybe Glaciating. They were like saying that if you want to beat a player that's better than you, pick Lydia.
Amen, bro.
honestly, I watched. I think it was Low High versus Farzine, and Low High's defense in that he was sidestep right ducking, like pre-fuzzying everything. And he was working so hard, and it reminded me of like the meme of the dude mashing like his keyboard, and it's like I'll be spinning like a ballerina. Like it's literally that. Like the Lydia player is just like having a good time, and Brian's over here. Da, 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 da. Please help me, dog.
Yep.
I want to ask now with another topic. I want to ask everyone around the table. We're going to start off with Wilder again, and that is what got you into Tekken. And that is not just with Tekken 8. That's all of them. Like, what got you into the Tekken series, the franchise itself? So, start off with Wilder.
So I didn't hear about 3D fighters until like everyone may not remember, but there was a game called Naruto Clash of Ninja.
I remember.
It's like a 3D fighting game. You had sidestep, and you had a bunch of cool stuff. And then when I had my PS3, I remember Virtual Fighter 5 was like actually like my first ever 3D fighting game. And then if you guys remember, there was a thing called GameWorks at Shops of Sunset before they changed the title. They had I think I remember, they had a Tekken 6 cabinet up on the second floor.
I think I know what that cabinet you're talking about. Tekken 6 Bloodline Rebellion. I remember that cabinet. I went there at the GameWorks for like back in like late 2009, and then I went there again for my 15th birthday.
Yeah, I think that was the one that it had Lars. I just picked whoever because I didn't know anything.
That's where it started, huh?
Yeah, and no, hold on. I'll get
okay.
I'll get there in a second.
Lars,
I
the
just
love of my
mashed,
life.
and then I didn't try out Tekken again until I saw Tekken Revolution, which was free. And then I just started mashing stuff with Law, like 1, 2 or something like that. And then Tekken 7 was there, and I'm like, I got a little bit, but I only bought it because Noctis Akuma was there. I traded in 2 times and then got back in because I'm like, okay, maybe Negan isn't so bad because I thought he was a weird pick. And then 2019, 2020 came around. A friend introduced me to, everyone's gonna probably hate me, Aliza. And that character with some 2D iterations is where I actually started to learn Tekken combos. That character helped me with Tekken combos because she can do stuff like foot dive loops and then all these crazy stuff. But
Oh, Aliza, the vampire.
Yeah, those were hard to do.
I thought you meant the robot. I was like, Alyssa.
no,
my bad.
not Alyssa.
Like, how's she looking now?
But yeah, no, they introduced me to Aliza, but I remember back in 2017, there was this YouTuber called Tendo XI, who was Lars name. That's where when I watched his videos, I thought to myself, this is so badass. Like Lars is cool. And then 2020, as soon as they brought season 4 for Tekken 7, was like where I actually started to like learn Lars stuff because he had that new move where Sen 3+4 in Tekken 7 would tornado and it would wall carry from wall to wall. So there from onward before Tekken 8 was where I played lots of Aliza, but when season 4 came around and was done, Lars was when it was for me, and I just stuck around with liking Tekken a lot. And I think watching the tournaments, Evo 2019, Our Son Ash,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are classics.
those were so really fantastic. Even I remember Kudons taking Tekken World Tour 2017.
That was my last favorite moment from T7. I really liked Q-Don's win. It was wholesome too because he came back off of his military.
Yeah, the story.
yeah,
there's
great
a document about Kudons, and it's actually incredible to watch what the man's been through and what he needed to thrive back. But that's how I got into Tekken. I went from it's cool to I actually love what Tekken is.
Beautiful story.
All right, good. Pico, what
All
about
right,
you?
my time to shine. Okay, so since I was a wee little lad back then, I used to go over to my cousin's house. He used to have a PS1. You know those PS1 demo discs that contain the demos, trailers, and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah, I love those things.
One of the demos that was on that demo disc was Tekken 3, and playing the.
Oh my god.
Yep. And
Game.
and of of that demo, the only characters you could play that demo were Eddie and Jiao Yu.
Only 2 characters in a demo.
Yep.
That had to be crazy.
Yep, those are the only 2 characters you could play that demo. Jiao Yu and Eddie back then. And the CPU opponents that you faced were Lei Wulong and Paul Phoenix. Yep.
That was ugly.
Having Eddie there was a business decision. They just wanted you to get good at pressing buttons. They're like, this is the character.
Yep. That was enough. Now I remember playing that demo over and over again. My cousin, like, I think I was getting beat by CPU, but how I was beating was just kept pressing the kick buttons over and over again because I was a little kid. I was probably just doing like all over the controller. Didn't know any better. Didn't know any better. But then later on, I think the next year, like Tekken 3 wasn't my first full 3D fighter. My first full 3D fighter was actually Virtua Fighter 4 for the PS2.
Ooh,
peak.
ball. Okay.
Oh my god, it's so peak. I love it.
Yep. I remember playing that game, and then asked my mom if I could stay up 5 more minutes just to play it some more. But back to Tekken. Then later on, because I had the PS2 at my mom's house, but at my grandma's house, I still had my PS1. So still got some PS1 games. When the games I got was Tekken 3, was playing around with it on and off, playing through it, just being a kid, toying around with stuff. Then Do you know? And you know, back and this was like 2002. You know, during the time back in the summer when one would go to like summer camps at schools and stuff like that. You take trips
Yep.
to like Boomers and all that. I remember like my the summer camp I went to. We'd be taking trips. One of the trips we went to was Kaboom's. Do y'all remember that place, Kaboom's?
I've heard of it.
I've never been.
It sounds
but
familiar.
Yeah,
Does
it's
sound-
like it's
sound
an
familiar.
arcade that had like a skating rink, served
Yeah,
pizza.
I remember it.
It had
Yep,
that dumb
exactly.
commercials like "Let's all go to Kaboom."
Exactly.
That's it.
Within, you want to know what game was in that Kaboom's? They had a Tekken 4 cabinet in that Kaboom's. Kaboom's, and I saw that, and I was like, okay. And I played around with it some as a little kid, you know. And oh boy, how should I say this? It kind of introduced me to one of my first fictional crushes, which was Ling Xiaoyu in Tekken 4, because I just liked her her character panel in that game very much. Very much, and I was just playing around with it, and I begged my mom that if I could get Tekken 4. Then later on that year, she got me Tekken 4, and like Tekken 3, I was playing that on and off, doing some of the story modes, doing the practice training mode, Tekken Force mode within Tekken 4, you know, having a great time. Then a few years later, you know, Tekken 5 came out. Of course, I saw the arcade cabinet at the Boomers, and this was like late 2004, early 2005. Like not DR, vanilla Tekken 5, and then got Tekken 5 for PS2 a few months later. Same case with that, just playing around with it, unlocking some characters, just playing around. I think I remember the characters I was playing around with the most were like Hwang, Bruce. Like I was just still mindlessly playing through Tekken 5, and then playing Tekken on and off during that time during my childhood. But then, like around 2000, in the Tekken didn't really catch my interest because during the time, like around 2007, 2008, I was playing more like. During the time, I wasn't allowed to play M-rated games till I was like around 11, 13 years old.
That's
of course.
fair. That's a reasonable thing, apparently.
The old days when you had to have your cousin come over to play a rated M game.
Yep, exactly. So, exactly. Like during that time, I wasn't too into Tekken or fighting games in general. As a early preteen teenager, I was more like into playing GTA 4. That was my very first GTA.
Yo.
And then let's get back to Tekken because I'm going a bit off topic here, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Yeah.
And then 2009, E3 2009, I saw Tekken 6. Well, before that, I saw like late 2008, there was a trailer for Tekken 6 Bloodline Rebellion. I just thought, okay, that looks cool so far. Like, didn't really catch my interest too much. And then I saw more of Tekken 6 during E3 2009. I'm like, oh, you can knock people through floors now, break walls and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was the game that introduced floor breaks, wall breaks, and also bound combat.
I actually like in terms of wall breaks, I would say in a sense that was more Tekken 4 because there was kind of a prototype for that. Because do you remember the city Shinjuku stage if you played Tekken 4 where there was the phone booths so you could knock opponents through them?
Oh yeah. It was like a little mall outdoor area.
I'd say
Yeah, that was kind of a prototype for the wall breaks.
that was a prototype somewhere.
Was that the game where you could bounce people off the ceiling of the parking garage?
Yeah.
High launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bounce off the top.
That was
Where's
the
my
one.
combo at?
Yeah, dude. That's
Yes.
hilarious.
Oh my
ass
goodness.
game.
Look at Tekken 4 nowadays. Like I think it was Arsenal Tire or someone. I don't remember who, but they were discussing over Tekken 4 and how you could do crazy wall infinites. Arsenal T, yep. And you could do crazy wall infinites in that game. Like goodness gracious.
Yeah, there was that one stage where it was kind of like a Fight Club, and I think if you played against Yoshi, if you played as Yoshi or Lee, you could just get a TLD.
Yep. But
Is it the one with like the people in the
Yes.
circle?
Yeah.
Yes,
A lot
that
of
was the
characters-
one.
A lot of characters had that. Nina, Jin. I remember. I've seen.
Yeah,
that.
but during
diabolical
but then
ass game.
later around my 14th birthday, again 2009, pre-ordered, and then got Tekken 6. This is when I really started getting more into the series, not not in a competitive sense, but more like just enjoying the game, the story, lore, music, characters, etc. But the character I started maining in Tekken 6 was Martial Law, mainly because he got me through the scenario campaign mode. Because, oh my goodness, if you play, oh my, don't even get me started on Nightmare Train, because that match was like you were playing doggone Dynasty Warrior. That match was like you were playing Dynasty Warriors in a game that wasn't designed for that. Oh my goodness!
It's like the Tekken 8 one that they did.
Tekken Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tekken 4. Tekken 4,
Yeah.
the scenario campaign mode. So Law was the first character I started maining. And I decided, and my 14-year-old self decided to hop online and be like, you know what? Let me see if I can win. Like, you know what? Let me do this. Let me try to see if I can, how good I am, right? Because I was naive back then. Thought I was the top because, that's just you being a teenager and all that. Maybe not everyone. Well, the first opponent I ever faced was an Elisa player. I lost that match. You want to know how?
No.
All this Elisa was hitting me with was back 3+4, 3+4. It's that one move where she does that launcher and then she flies, where she
jumps
launches
in the air.
flies in the air and then spikes you to the ground.
Yeah, that one.
There was nothing. I did not understand at the time what in the world to do against that. Of course.
Yep.
Of course, and then now I was up to him, but now because I was being a scrub, and I was just like, oh, this guy is cheating. Why do they have such a move?
Oh my god, I used to have that mentality with Ultimate Ninja Storm too.
Yep, like, oh my, this move is cheap and all that. Oh my god, like I was a very salty person. There was also during a time when I was like started getting back more into fighting games with my PS3. It also got, oh boy, this is one of the worst fighting games that I played, King of Fighters 12, which didn't have like a lot of content, and also
Not KOF 12.
yes, KOF 12. Oh my,
That was a full price demo for KOF 13. Basically.
Exactly.
You know what I remember? One of the IGN reviews at the end of their videos, they're like, "Go play Blaze Blue, man."
But
yeah,
also along with Tekken, I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and oh god, that was brutal. Ooh boy.
I love this game, bro.
Yep,
So much
that was brutal. But yep, I did play. I was playing like Tekken Online on and off, not understanding neutral, frame down, not understanding like any fighting game lingo whatsoever. Just playing the game, just pressing buttons, getting whooping some weaker players, but also getting whooped by better players because I just had no understanding at the time. This continued on, of course, with Tekken Tag Tournament 2, where I was playing double laws. So
okay.
double laws.
I'm surprised you don't play Law. I haven't seen you pick Law in Tekken 7 or 8.
He's got the slide.
He got the slide, I know, but at the time, well, we'll get to that soon enough, my dear friend. But yes,
Okay.
but yes, where I admit I was just being stupid. Like I don't know what it was back then. Like I was playing Tag Tournament 2 online from like 2012 up to 2015 back when I was like in university. Like let me stop skipping around. 2013, a year later, Tekken E3 2010, not E3 2013, Tekken Revolution got announced, and I was playing through that, and let's just say I got doggone addicted because I got addicted to the whole arcade coin system where like if you run out of coins, you can no longer play.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You had to wait the next day for it to be refilled if you wanted to play again, and that included arcade mode as well.
Interesting. I remember playing Revolution, but I didn't play it a lot at the time.
Yep, I was playing Revolution a lot. Like I got addicted, doing like the critical art. Like honestly, now that I look back on Tekken Revolution, that was definitely the prototype for like Tekken 7 for what they were going to do to Tekken 7 and Tekken, and especially Tekken 8 because you got those critical arts, you got those blue special effect moves, and then you got and then, oh my goodness, don't even get me started with the whole endurance, vigor. Like, that game had straight RPG elements in there. Like, the more health you had, oh my, it wasn't even, it didn't even feel skill. It wasn't even skill based. Like, the more health you had, how should I convey this? The more health you had, the more of a chance you could defeat your opponent. Of course, and don't forget damage because if you're damaged, I forgot what the damage damage stat was called, but if you had a higher damage stat, of course you did more damage to the opponent.
And that was for like online play?
That was for like online play, yes.
Online, yeah.
Yes.
That game was one of the worst.
One of the worst
sounds
Tekken games.
diabolical.
One of the worst Tekken games I ever played, honestly.
Despite how I feel about Revolution, I will admit the soundtrack really does work.
Yes, it does, but I think the reason for Revolution, you gotta remember, mainly because remember, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 didn't sell well. And they were basically like, hey, we need to try to get new blood into Tekken. So they just thought, you know what, let's make Tekken Revolution. It'll bring new blood in since, it was a free-to-play game at the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, free-to-play. Unless you have to purchase, of course, and I see you, BB, because again, you have to purchase those coins, because if you ran out of coins,
I think Harada mentioned it in an interview one time that he was trying to bring the arcade model into home games and the whole online thing. He wanted people to be putting in tokens, putting in quarters.
Right, so it's the
Right.
same
So to
coin
speak.
idea.
Yeah, so he made the game free, but then he's trying to make people pay quarters.
Pay quarter,
virtual-
pay real money to get these coins. You could continue to play the game. Yep.
Would you still be able to play the game if you never lose? Technically,
Yeah, you can still play the game. I remember, I think, you still play games if you never lose, but if you lose like I think 3 to 5 times, that's it. You're done.
okay, a little more forgiving than the
Come
arcade
back
culture.
tomorrow. Come back the next day.
Yep.
Come back the next day.
Yep, but now after Tekken Revolution, back to Tag Tournament 2. This was around like 2014, 2015, back when I was at FIU doing computer science and switched to IT. I was youth back then, like especially 2015, 2014, saw that Tekken 7 got announced, thought it looked nice, was playing Tag Tournament 2, 2015. Here's the thing, because when I tried to play online in my dorm room, because I used to live on campus, because the internet was not very good. So I would go down to our dorm lounge, plug up my PS3 onto the TV, and play Tekken through there. And I was still on that scrubby mindset, of course, that scrub mindset, of course. Like I was cussing my butt off, being salty, being demoralized. But for some reason, I still kept coming back. I guess because I just still enjoyed the game in a way. But again, I was probably an addict. But
That's
then,
fair. Okay.
But then after I got my PS4, didn't play Tekken for a while during like 2016 to 2017. I was just started off playing like Mortal Kombat X online and Street Fighter 5 online. And then when Tekken 7 came out, I got that first day, started off with Law and decided deep in my mind, you know what? Because, I was, you're a bit more older, you're more knowledgeable. I was like, you know what? Let me actually take time to try to understand the game instead of just mindlessly playing. And
Right.
and that's what I started doing. And I also started going out to the local scene at the time as well. My very first local was at Arcade Odyssey, and that's where
Nice.
that's where I first saw the likes of doing a bit of shout out here, Paco, aka Gandito, and also Limit 47 because they've been playing Tekken for a while. Wow, if you don't know Gandito was if I remember, the grand finalist at Evo 2008 for Tekken 5 DR.
Oh wow. I know we had killers out there like that.
Yeah, he used to go out for Tekken, but he no longer plays. He's now mainly playing like Grand Blue, I believe. As if he's still playing, of course. So, and I did do tournament before Tekken. I did do tournaments before with Street Fighter 5. Only went to 2 tournaments, so went 0-2 in both.
It's a rite of passage.
Yep.
Both. So in Tekken 7, when I started doing the tournaments for that, I went 2-2 in my very first tournament, and I was like,
Nice.
okay. I was like, okay, could be my game. And then after the Arcade Odyssey tournaments, I didn't go there for a while, and I started doing okay, quick question. Y'all remember Flippers?
Yeah, I know it because I believe the Marvel 3 scene was like pretty popular there.
Yep. There was also a Tekken scene there as well during 2017, and folks would go out to Flippers. And over there in Flippers, that's where that's when I first saw folks like True, Inca. I'm trying to remember who else. The Will, may he rest in peace. And who else?
Was Miss My Friends around that time? I know he's a
I don't
Tekken
think
player.
I'm not sure if Miss My Friends was around that time, but Profit was around during that time back in 2017. Like
Yeah, he
again,
said he played
The
7.
funniest thing of the answer for me for the question that was asked is it starts at Flippers as well, which is pretty funny. I'll tell it in a moment when you're done.
Flippers.
Trust me, it's gonna be a while because I have a long story. Because I've been,
We got a long way to go.
Just remember, we don't have a lot of time.
We only got 2 hours.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Okay. Let me stop being a narcissist. So I try to shorten up as much as possible for your sake, for the sake of the podcast. Okay. So going to Flippers, and then later that year, fall 2017, I went back to FIU. Still played Law, but I wasn't getting the Dragon Science Dance down for myself. And I was starting off with Josie. Originally, Josie was supposed to be a secondary for me, but then I saw I was doing a lot better with her, and I started going out to these locals at Pro Play Games called Immortalized Mondays. I was hosted by Convicted of Fun Ryan Mejia. Shout out to him.
Go to.
And Saw that I was ranking up better with Josie. Got vanquisher with her. Season 1 of Tekken 7. Then I won a few locals at Immortalized Mondays, and early 2018 I won Arcade Odyssey. But before that Arcade Odyssey tournament, of course. Oh boy, here's a funny story. It was a 3-day weekend because I think it was Martin Luther King weekend or something like that. That Monday, I was waking up just to chill, lay down a bit, and then go study. Then I checked my Facebook messages. I see and this was after like my very first 10th level timer tournament. This was back before Nomi owned the TLT.
Right.
TLT, and plus it was much smaller. Now let's go back to that Monday because I know I'm all over the place, but let me shorten it as much as possible. Funny story. I wake up on that Monday just getting ready to chill and study. Then I see I've been invited to a Tekken Facebook group at the time. I'm like, and I saw that Gandito was hosting a session at his place. So now I'm laying down. And I'm just like, I know I should study, but should I go?
The Tekken Illuminati group.
You should go.
I was invited to a Tekken Illuminati group at that time. And you know what? I went. And you know what? I went.
And the next day I dropped out.
Well, I didn't drop out, but still, even before that, there was some other place I went to, and that was also when I first met Slick Sinister as well. But back to that. So went out to the place, played some games with Gandito, met CEO of Darkness, met Slick Sinister again, Limit 47. Like, it was really nice. Like, I just could not believe I was invited to an Illuminati like that. I was just like, okay. I guess because it was my first TLC and I got 3rd place in that tournament. And then I got my first Arcade Odyssey tournament win with Josie, been playing her. Nice. Later mid 2018, started using Shaheen as a secondary because I wanted to improve my fundamentals, of course. And then back in 2018, there was this kid. Well, it started earlier than that. I'm keep skipping over, but after that first Arcade Odyssey win, then I met a dude named Keldrum. He was this really good King player that was like winning almost every tournament. He was really good. Like after 2018, 2019. Now let me just shorten it up. 2019. I know I keep saying that, my dear sir, but let me shorten it up. Try to shorten it up. 2019. I went to my very first local, which was CEO 2019. Had a fun time. Went with Roshka, who basically, that's when Roshka first appeared in the Tekken scene, like early 2019, and he was basically scary for me. That's
my hatred for Leo stems from that. I did not like playing against him. That parry when he's at the wall, ugly.
Yep, and oh my goodness, and Roshka was a monster when he back in 2019. But I met him before in 2018, but that was more when he was starting off, of course. But yep. Like I know I'm all over the place, but then 2020 I didn't really play much Tekken because COVID was happening, and I was addicted to like Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation too during that time. So just going to work, Battle Operation. Then 2021 started getting back into Tekken, started practicing proper Korean backdashing for the player 2 side, which still needs a lot but still needs a lot of work.
Right.
Then 2021 did some tournaments. If you remember Senpai, I went to that tournament that was more outside. I was starting off with Josie, and then I remember Miss My Friends beat me with Josie, so I'm like, I switched to Fakum Ram and I won that tournament. Miss My Friends, I know if he's watching it, I remember he still remembers that. Shout out to you, my dear friend. And shout out to Nightbreed, because I remember he was out there as well. Then 2022, I saw the Heart Container tournament. Amanda, shout out to the Heart Container, Non-Entity. They started hosting their tournaments on Branded. Won most of the first 10 tournaments. I remember Cube won one. Daruma won one as well. Shout out to those homies. And then I remember, the first 9 tournaments. And then I remember the 10th tournament. I met you, my dear friend B Buckets. And I think you were my very first match. I admit, you got me good, and I underestimated you during that time.
You were later I'll tell how I got into Tekken, but that was my first time coming back after COVID. Going to a local my first match was against Pico.
Exactly.
Okay.
B Buckets will tell you that later.
Nice.
And then since 2022, I've still been coming out to the tournament, supporting the local scene, loving you guys, hanging out with you guys as much as possible. Y'all gave me a reason to just keep coming out, and I'm still playing. Even within this not so very good state with Tekken 8, I still come out because, I still love the local community here. I do try to like Tekken 8 and enjoy it as much as possible. But honestly, my favorite of my top 5 fighting games, like I don't have a certain order, but Tekken 7 is definitely one of my top 5 for me. And that was just mainly because Tekken 7 was the game that got me into the competitive scene, got me meeting you guys. Again, love you guys. And I'm thankful for that because I'm thankful for Tekken 7 because I'm still with you guys today, man.
Hell yeah.
And if I wasn't playing Tekken, I don't know. May I still be playing a fighting game, or probably I just stick to the action adventure games, hanging out with some other group or whatnot. But all right,
Then that leads you to Tekken 8.
what happened?
So then that leads to Tekken 8 from there, right?
From where?
From 2022.
From 2022. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Basically, yep. So, all right, that's my journey, and that was my long story. So let me go on to Decoy.
There we go.
What was the question again?
Hold on, let me get it.
What,
was
what,
the,
what got you into
What got
Tekken?
you
What
into
got you into
Tekken?
Tekken?
Not specifically,
Don't worry,
just in the general.
My
idea.
memory's okay. My memory's okay. I got you. So, I mean, my story's honestly not all that advanced. It does technically start at Flippers, but I was in a Flippers watching a movie, and I looked to the left, and there's this dude with a Jaguar mask on the screen. And I faintly remember it as a child. I was like maybe 11 max, and nothing about Tekken at all for like the rest of my time until I was like 16, and then T7 was releasing on PC, and my boy who played T3 and stuff with his brother as a kid, he was like, "Hey, you should try this game, man." And I'm down to try whatever. So I opened that and I was like, this is pretty cool. Tried Gigas, played him a few months because I wanted like a character that looked like he was bullying the opponent. And he was all right, but he just left something to be desired. There was just not enough moves. I like games with depth. And that's what really kept me going with Tekken is the depth. And I swapped to Claudio, same issue, not that many moves. I felt like I already did, like I've already done everything. And then Dragunov, and then my next 1,300 hours on the game was pretty much just me playing Dragunov with my friend. So, but the thing that really got me to stick with Tekken as a whole was watching the tournaments, because I started watching the tournaments. I remember the first tournament I watched was the Tekken 7 Rev Major in 2018, and it was Knee versus JDCR, and it was playing Fang versus Dragunov.
That
And,
was no. I think that was. I'm pretty sure that was 2017.
It was season 2, I think. It might have been 2017.
No, I think it
actually.
was. I think-
Season 1
I
or
think-
No, season 2 was 2018.
Yeah, it was one of the two.
Either way, the two goats are on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the two goats were on the screen, and a lot of times when I've played previous games, I was always like a little better than my friends most of the time.
Right.
And most games were like fairly easy, didn't have a whole lot of like depth that I felt like I could absorb. But when I was watching, not to be egotistical, but when I was watching this, I was like, there's no way that I could ever beat these people. Like I was watching them and I was like, this doesn't look human. Like JDCR playing was unrealistic to me. I was like, this is insane. And that made me want to get really good at the game. So I played a lot. One of my favorites, obviously Qdons we talked about, was a good one. I kind of stopped playing at the beginning of season 3 with Leroy because my friend likes to try all the new characters, so I had to deal with him playing Leroy and Fakum Ram. I'm like, dog.
Same experience. My buddy
On
did not play
release?
ever. He picked up Leroy, started whooping my ass. I've been playing this game for months. He's like, what now? So like,
You ever,
bro,
you
what a
ever, you
character.
ever,
quitting
you,
this game.
you ever want to win a major? Just pick Leroy.
Yeah, and
Oh
then
my god.
I quit, kind of. I went to Dragon Ball Fighters tournament that also had Tekken, and my matches was Prophet and then Inca, I think, in order. And I proceeded to get mollywopped for like, it was a bad tournament. And I was like,
rough.
maybe I'm not cut out for this whole Tekken stuff, you know? The sun was in my eyes. It was in the basketball courts at Miramar. So like the sun was actually in my eyes.
I remember
but, like,
going to that, yeah.
Those
what
are
a
fun.
funny excuse. And yeah, so then Tekken 8, I just felt like everyone was too far ahead of me in T7. So I just kind of just played it casually. Didn't really think much of it. And then T8 happened, and I was like, maybe I was playing it a little bit. I'm like, maybe I could take this seriously, you know, competitively. This is the worst game you could have picked to try and be good at. But
In a lot of different ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
but
I
like
understand that sentiment.
yeah, like our boys said here, the community that like I got to see really and like just got to be with, it really added a whole lot of value to my life as a whole. So like, I don't know, it's definitely worth it. So, but yeah, it's pretty, not a whole lot to it other than that. But yeah, I'll leave you to it.
All right.
Beautiful story.
Yeah.
BB, what about you? What got you into the Tekken series?
Before I talk about Tekken, I want to go back to something Pico said because I want to feel seen too because you just felt seen. My first fictional crush when I was a kid was Raven from the Teen Titans. So
It wasn't Shigo from Kim Possible?
Mad respect.
no, I never thought. I'm not a Disney kid. I'm sorry.
Hey, since you said since you're a Raven guy, I'm a Starfire guy.
Perfect. All right, we'll
There
split
we
them
go.
up. Tag team. Anyway.
Tag team, yo.
Yo.
What got me into Tekken? I mean, I had a PS1 as a kid. I played 2 or 3, whatever. I played all the console games, but very casually. And when did you say Tekken 7 came out on PC?
It was like 2016 or 17.
Yeah,
it was
It was 2017. I think June 2nd, 2017
Yeah.
was when Tekken 7 came
around
out.
that time, I got my first computer.
Ooh,
I was never a PC gamer. I never played Counter-Strike. I never did all this stuff. So I got a computer, and my buddy, to celebrate with me, he gave me a $100 Steam gift card.
ooh, nice.
And the first game that I bought with that was Tekken 7. And it stayed in my library for a while, but I watched later on a couple years, or maybe a year or two after, I saw the video, A Brilliant Fighting Game Community, the one with Poke Chop,
Bruh.
with Poke Chop and Real Law. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That was where I first discovered Pog Chop and Real Law because
Yep, same here.
it was
Same here, bro.
it was because of that specific scene where Pog Chop just stands up
Yeah.
and then just does that.
does the
No,
cross chop.
that's the
Yeah.
second one. It was the first, the Brilliant Fighting Game community, to be honest. And I forgot to say in my, well, I don't want to steal a spot from B-Bucket, but I admit Poke Chop was one of my inspirations for why I chose and played Josie.
Poke Chop is awesome. Like, yeah, he's a great human. But I saw the video and I saw the community aspect of it, and I've been playing games, but like online and whatever, or maybe with friends, but I've never gone to a place.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Same. This is my first
yeah.
one.
So I saw that experience of Poke Chop and Real Law, and there's a crowd behind him, and everybody's having fun, and it's like a whole, you know, it's competitive and it's one-on-one.
That's part of the Brilliant Fighting Game community is one too. That's what got me into the FGC. Just seeing the community, just seeing the community.
And
the
for
aspect of
a
it.
long time, I was playing games like Rocket League and Rainbow Six and Overwatch. Like these team,
Rocket League.
I was playing these team games. I was like crazy in Rocket League back in the day. But
Yeah, I like Rocket League. Big fan.
there were these team games, and I always felt like I was being held back a little bit, right? So then I see this genre where you have nobody else to blame but yourself if you lose.
Right.
And that was very enticing to me. Like, I didn't want to have to rely on anybody to do the right thing. I didn't want to have to be selfless for, you know.
Right.
So I pick up Tekken, and I was green ranks, and my first tournament was actually in Arcade Odyssey 2. And the first person that I ever played against was Prophet Noda.
Oh.
And
Yo, you too?
yeah, that was the first person I played against. He whooped my ass, triple no round or double, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember I looked at him and I shook his hand like he beat my ass. And can I curse?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, he beat my ass. And I go and I shake his hand, and I'm like, damn, that was brutal. And then he's like, you gotta be. And then he just got up and walked away. After that, I was a green rank that time.
Real. Honestly.
Shortly after that, COVID happened, right? But those words of Prophet stayed in my mind, just looming in the background. And during that entire time, ever since that day, I was practicing. I was in the lab. I was watching videos, tutorials, whatever. And the reason why I picked Dragunov is because I love Metal Gear. And I feel like Dragunov is a combination of like Snake and Ocelot in all the best ways. And he's like the tactical military type, and he's a strong dude that doesn't say a word, and he just shows up and whoops ass.
You
right?
did tell me that
Ball,
when I asked
ball.
you that question. What made you pick up Dragunov back then
Yeah.
when you were still playing Tekken 8 at the time?
I don't care about moves. I don't care about frame data. I don't care about whatever. This guy looks sick. He doesn't say a word. He just hums and then gets the ass whooping. So I pick him, and I got to see a lot of the tutorials through Eris, avoiding the puddle.
Yep.
In my opinion, the best Tekken commentator there is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or there ever has been. and following Eris, and he also plays Dragunov, and there's a lot of charisma there, and it more further made me fall in love with the game. And whatever, we'll get into the tournament stuff later, but the Tekken community is a big thing, and also having something that you can hone a skill in that is not team-based was very attractive to me, and I couldn't get enough of it. So COVID happened, and then when I came back, my first match was against Pico. Prophet was there in the same building, I remember. He'd always had a target on his back ever since that day at Arcade Odyssey, so I was coming. And miss my friends. I met them the first time there, Daruma, everybody. So it's very nice to like think back to that first day and then think of where we are now and how long I've known some of these people and like lifelong friendships and whatever.
The beautiful history of it.
So it's Tekken is, it's not just about the game.
Right.
If anything, it's not about the game at all,
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well said.
Yeah, so
To the game.
similar to the what did you say? When I was talking about depth, you said skill expression. I think that was kind of a similar thing. I think we have a similar mindset in that regard. The thing for Dragunov, because we're both Dragunov players, always have been. So what's it called? The thing that really kept me in the game really was all of his moves felt like you were like a steak knife chopping through like a butter stick. It's like whenever you use his moves, you feel like you're slicing like perfectly through like a tree type thing.
Yeah, he's hitting you like he means it. Like he is not playing around.
And like all the other characters felt kind of blocky. They felt like they moved a little strange, kind of like you would do a move and you're stuck there. But Dragunov felt like he was just constantly flowing through you, which is one thing that I really liked about the character. And the main reason I picked him, I think, as well, is because I like the fact that like Tekken has like martial arts and they represent all of the martial arts, and Sambo is one of the coolest. So I like the snapping of the bones and stuff.
Ooh.
The really like brutal attacks. When he hits you with bar fight, everybody knows that it was personal.
For real, bro.
It wasn't like I was hitting you in the game. I land bar fight and I look over. I look over at
How do you
that
feel
guy.
about this? How do you feel about this?
I'm like, you like that?
You see Law on the floor there?
Hurts, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. Next topic, and the next topic will be, what are your most memorable moments playing Tekken? So instead of starting off with Wilder, we're gonna start off with BB first.
Most memorable moments. Damn, I wish I had known I was going first before I put a mint in my mouth. But
That's the mix, baby. Tekken 8.
Got mixed.
I always go back to like the bad moments, because my most memorable moments are always more in hurt than in celebration. Because that's just like how my brain works and my motivation. And I have two moments that stick out to me as memorable in the worst way, but that also made me develop as a human.
Right.
One of them was locally, I was playing against Inca, and we were in one of those tournaments where they have the belt. The
Fighter Fest. Yeah.
Fighter Fest, it could be.
Fighter first, yeah.
No.
No, yeah, that checks
And
out.
I was winning. He plays a crazy Yoshimitsu. Inca is nasty, right? So I'm actually winning this match, and it's like for the belt and to me and for my ego, and I'm just like and I'm like, I have to win this, right? And
Maybe it was TLT, actually. My bad.
it wasn't TLT, but I remember I'm about to win, and I launch him, and that is the game-winning combo. And the bread and butter is the easiest thing you can imagine, and I drop it, right? He stays with 1 HP, makes a comeback, wins the tournament. And another similar experience that is another 1 HP comeback. But those moments where I think Joey Fury said something that I really liked one day. It was you're clutching defeat from the jaws of victory. Like you are inches from winning, and you manage to salvage a defeat from the situation. Like you figure out a way to lose. Like it's a it's a
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
psychology and competitiveness and whatever, and you think the worst is going to happen, and it happens, right? Another similar situation to that, Slaughterwall, I played against him and his Nina, on stage at CEO. Similar situation, 1 HP. I'm on stage and I'm like, I'm gonna beat this dude's ass, right? And drop a combo again, and he proceeds to come back the whole way through, wins on stage. I can tell you, I enjoy and I learn and I reflect back on the bad moments. And those are just 2 of the 1 HP comebacks. But there's millions of bad moments where I'm just sitting in my car after a tournament like, what the fuck, you know? How did I let this whatever? Or how did XYZ beat me? Or what, you know, you just get into your own head about things. Or fuck Dragunov, I'm going to play Julia, you know? Because in Tekken 7, Dragunov was a piece of shit. Thank you for letting me curse, by the way.
Gotta get. That's exactly what we want. The vibes. Bro.
Yeah. So I mean, I think a lot about the bad stuff, but the good stuff, man. I can go on forever, but I'll keep it to being able to go to CEO and meet all the people around the world that I talk to online. Couple notable names like Piggy, Sour Piggy. He's like one of my brothers. Like at this point, like forget Tekken, you know. I got to hang out with Spirit Peeling, a bunch of cool people. When I flew to New York, to the next, they have a next level arcade in Brooklyn.
Yes, yeah.
Where Reno Face, another commentator, and Bloodhawk, 2 great commentators in Tekken, had never met me before, and I'm always in their chat rooms, and they met me for the first time, and they're like, hey, you want to go out for a drink after the Tekken tournament? And I'm like, at this point in my life, I'm not really drinking, right? And they're like, but there's a pool table. And I'm like, all right, you got me, you know? Put something competitive in the building, and I've played pool since I was 6. So you mentioned a pool table, and I'm there because I'm smurfing, you know? I'm GOD in a green rank lobby. So whatever, we go and they're like, okay, you're pretty good at this and whatever. So that's a great experience. And even the last thing I'll mention that is notable to me is aside from Piggy, that is my brother, and there's this other dude named Spaghetti that Spaghetti,
Spaghetti in Spanish.
Yeah, his real name is Javier, but he lives in Spain. I haven't met him in person ever, but I've known him since he was a teen, and I taught him how to play the game. I taught him English. Like, it's become like this brotherhood too of like, I've seen him grow up. He's seen me, you know, get older and go into my 30s, and that's another brother that like. Tekken doesn't have to be in the building. It doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, like that relationship stays.
Yeah,
Tekken's the secondary, third,
the memorable moment. Yeah, Tekken doesn't even exist, and we're still calling each other and making sure we're good. And hey, how are you? And whatever. The memorable moments are about the people, and it's about the struggles, kind of, that you go through mentally as a competitor to grow as a person. And afterwards, after the game is over and done with, and I'm not playing anymore. Those are the things that stick with you, like the lessons you took out of it, and the people that follow you. You know, not everybody's gonna stick around, but some do, and those are the most memorable. Yeah,
that's beautifully well said.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That Koi.
Yeah, I think I was there for 2 of those moments. I'm not sure, the Slaughter Wall one and the Inca one.
Yep.
And I remember after the Inca one, about a week after, I was talking to you, and you're like, fuck, just like randomly, and he's like, I'm still thinking about it, man.
That should haunt you.
Yeah. And I remember the Slaughter Wall match. It was just these 1+2 breaks on Nina. He was hitting them with the command grab, and it was just getting the wall splat at the weirdest angles, and it was ugly. It was 1 HP. But yeah, for me, I mean, those are memorable moments for me too. Like, a lot of the memorable moments that I have, seeing other people have these moments, whether they're good or bad, is really important. Like at Evo of 2024, I think.
Nice.
I pulled up, and I didn't know Luca was going to be there, Soldier Luca. And
my goat.
Yeah, my goat. Shout out to Luca. And I remember he actually mentioned this on the last podcast, I think. But he was up against this Raven player, and I told him, I'm like, I don't know why, but after Raven does the hell sweep, just roll forward. It works every time. And he did it, and he won the set, and he won a game and got out of pools from it. And where I learned that was from one of my other most memorable moments was CEO 2024, where I went up against Pinya, which is probably Japan's best player, Chikarin or Pinya. It's one of the two. You could take your choice.
Right.
But Pinya, best Raven on the planet. And obviously, I don't know how to play against that character. He's doing some fuck shit. So what I did was I asked Inca for as much practice as I can, told him like what he thought, and he told me about the roll forward tech, and it worked on Pinya. So I was like, if it works on him, it's gonna work on everyone else. So that's why I told Luca that. But the Pinya match at CEO, it's like when you fight a pro player in these games, it feels like an insurmountable wall before you play them. You're like, how am I going to beat this guy? This guy is significantly better than me. There's no way. And then when I got up there and I was fighting him, I was hitting him with some stuff that I was like, dang, he's actually getting hit by this. And the wall starts crumbling down a little bit. He was obviously still significantly better than me, but you could see he bleeds.
Yeah, he's human.
He's human. And I hit him with stuff I didn't think I would. And it made me think afterwards. I was like, that wasn't that bad. And I think that if I truly like lock in, maybe I could actually have some success here. So that was one of the most pivotal moments for me to sticking around with the game in general. Because, you could get demoralized really easily playing this game, I assure you.
Yeah, I think the average person would be demoralized really quickly.
Yeah.
It's like it's a miracle that I even kept playing throughout my teen years at all.
Yeah, I feel Butters whenever he asks for advice against certain things. I could tell that you're a little demoralized in certain circumstances against characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get it, and I could help with what I can, but sometimes it's just kind of hard to determine what's the real problem as well in a game that's so advanced.
Over 100%, yeah.
Yeah, and but yeah, that was one of my favorite moments. I took a picture with John Ding at Evo.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah, he was.
Did you flex together?
We did flex. I have the picture, and I could put that up later.
Please do.
I put it in the Discord when it happened, but he's really big. But I kind of mogged him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I
talk
kinda
about shit, boy.
mogged him, Same shirt, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go.
It's washed, please, guys.
I never washed his hand after John Ding touched it. He's like, this is a shirt I met John Ding with. Hang it up, put it in the rafters.
Yeah, but that's one of my favorite moments. I had another moment where I was watching the top 8 at Evo with, what's his name? Ibo. Ibo was sitting next to me, and we were watching it by proxy through Maximilian Dude's stream. Because he was on stage streaming the game because not everybody could get in the theater. And it was kind of weird seeing Maximilian Dude in person. Because I don't even play fighting games, but I watched a lot of his videos.
No, yeah, he's
So,
an icon.
Yeah, so I was just like, damn, it's kind of surreal looking at all of these celebrities,
Yeah,
they're not true celebrities, but they are.
That's
for
how I
us.
felt when I discovered Maximilian in the new year 2017. I'm just like, oh, he has a variety and such. But 2019, because I've watched most of his videos all the way to 2019, was where I finally met Video Games. Those people are really nice people,
Yeah.
Like, you get to meet them in person. They're incredible.
Yeah, beautiful
Then-
people.
One more memorable moment, I guess, would be my first local win, which was at Flynn's Arcade. Shout out to Flynn's Arcade. Yeah, not sponsored, by the way. But that was my first win. It was at the beginning of season 2. Shame on me. And then I ended up winning a local at all of our locals so far. I got 4th at what was it called? The big Rock Dojo event, the South Florida one, where we had a bunch of strong competitions, and I beat some really good players there. And I got 4th place, but I ended up getting the most money I've gotten from a tournament at 4th place. And I was like, oh my God, I had to hug the TO how much money I got. I got like
Yeah, the Rock Dojos be getting money.
I got like $70. I'm like, what? And I'm 4th. You know that, right? And in that same event, me and Sam Poppy, Prophet doesn't know about this, but this is some anti-profit that we're about to spew right here. I hope I hope he's listening.
I hope you got more after this.
I hope he's listening right now. But basically, I knew that I was about to fight Profit in the bracket, and whoever lost was fighting Senpapi. And as we know, Senpapi's a wild card. He's either going to completely demolish you or he's going to get demolished.
A true Tekken 8 fashion, 50-50.
Yeah.
Exactly. He plays the 50-50 perfectly.
That's how he loves to live.
Yeah. And I was like, I told Senpapi before the match, I said, I'm going to send him to you. I don't want him coming back.
You put a hit on that, man.
Send him to the wolves.
And we both hand shook right there.
Take care of him.
And I'm like, I can count on you, yeah? And he's like, I'll do what I can.
Oh, that's fucked up.
He's so honest, bro. I love that
I
guy.
love that.
So I ended up winning, and I sent him to Senpapi. And then lo and behold, I'm getting up to 4th place or whatever, and here he comes. Profit comes back and ends up winning the entire tournament.
That was, Island Paradise.
Yeah, the
right?
Island Paradise.
yeah.
Dude, that was like you literally. Oh my god, I remember because I think I fought Senpapi and I sent him to losers. And
Yeah.
I sent him to losers, and then Prophet had to fight Senpapi. I'm like, just one mad horn, please.
Yeah.
And then Prophet just beat my ass. Like,
Yeah, I had my hardest, the hardest person for me to beat in these tournaments, in my opinion, is probably Cube. And that was one of my very few wins on Cube. He was playing Heihachi, just to downplay it a little bit. But yeah, that was a big win for me. So was I won the one at it was like the Miramar Community Center.
Miramar Mashers.
Yeah,
It wasn't
that place.
Mashers.
No?
It was like a separate one. It was hosted by the mayor and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
And I got
'cause,
like a big gift card for it and stuff. It was really cool. It was right next to Inca's house. Get doxxed.
Yeah,
And
'cause-
Oh my god! Oh my goodness!
but yeah, those are just some of the few that I really enjoyed. Most of them being T8 related, of course. But yeah. So that's
I love that. Beautiful stories.
yeah, very nice.
The docs thing.
Dog.
You make 2 lefts and then it's a right after the block.
Okay, so thing with me is like it's similar to B buckets from like been competing since 2017. I don't really have a lot. I wouldn't say I have a lot. I had solid moments at best, and I had some good moments here. But I'll start off with like a minimal one, like winning my first local victory. There was one victory I had at Flippers back in 2017, but I don't really count that because a lot of the top guys were at CEO of that year. So it was more like a moralized Mondays after I was knocked down losers. Came back
A
up.
win's a win.
A win's a win.
I know, but still, came
Somebody's
back.
got to know the details.
Yeah.
Yep, came back up, went up, ended up with my first local win at one of the Immortalized Mondays. Again, shout out to the likes of Ryan Mejia, Stalker, Blanco Nino, Laz. Shout out to those guys. Also, shout out to Ericy. Hope he's doing well as well. But also I'd say another memorable moment I had was, this was when Negan came out, and I was having fun with Negan, loving the voice.
I liked him. He was
Yep, I loved the voice lines. I loved his moves. Like he was just out of for me. It's just because he was out of nowhere.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I love that.
Look at that! Taking it like a cherub.
Dude, I used to think that didn't make any sense and he was a wasted spot until I actually tried him out before I graduated high school, and I'm like, okay, he's actually pretty cool.
Cool.
This is that's the one game where you can break a Final Fantasy character's bones. I remember saying that back in 2019, and that still stuck with me.
Yeah, better than that. During that year of 2019, there was one tournament at Arcade Odyssey where whoever wins gets a free registration to CEO.
I used to go for that for fighters.
I remember
Dude,
that.
Yeah.
You might not remember, but I won one at next level for CEO Taku of 2022. I remember winning that, but that for Strive. But
Yep.
We're not talking about Strive. Right?
Yep, but with that tournament, I ended up losing that tournament to, again, who I mentioned, Keldrum. Y'all might not know him, but again, he was a really, really, really fantastic King player. I lost to him, got second place. He ended up winning the tournament, but then, I think some life events happened to him. He couldn't go to CEO. So guess who the next person was that was able to go to? Exactly. Like, I was shocked by that. And during this time, I was, I'm still living at home taking care of my old lady, my grandmother, my dear grandmother, of course, but, because
Shout out, Grandma.
Yep. Yep, like during that time, I was just still. Now I was like, because I remember Ryan Convicted Fun asked me like, "Hey, listen, Keldrum can't go anymore." And asked me, I was just like, "Holy, okay." That is interesting, and I accepted, but I told him like I have to ask my folks first. Asked them. Good news. I was able to go and ended up riding up to Daytona with Roshka for my very, very, very first major.
Nice.
Yep. Remember going there, seeing, oh my goodness, the venue, all the games, all the vendors, exhibits. Holy cow. I was starstruck.
Right. Yeah. I felt the same way.
I was starstruck, and I was excited to see all the pro players. Bought a notebook or a folder just to take some notes. Played some of them, especially played the likes of Poke Chop, played Silence, played Tekken Tim. I forgot who else I played. I think, I remember playing certain players, of course, during that time.
Right.
And during that first tournament, of course, I almost made out of pools. Went 4-2, but I ended up losing to a really good Oscar player. I forgot his name, but I know he was like an Orlando player or something. I wonder if he still plays today. I know True knows him very much. And you know what? Rest of the way, I enjoyed myself, CEO of that year, and you know what? Had fun, and I still have that post up on Facebook this very day, and I still look back at that every now and then. And had a great fun time, man.
It's a beautiful time. I love
other than
CEO.
that, one or two more memories. This is concerning like more, I won't say bad, but the losses.
Right.
I still remember Fighter Fest of 2022. I was winning. I was in winners. I faced you in grand finals, and oh my
I remember that day.
gosh, man. I gotta give you props. You 6-0, no round brown to my behind. I think I remember, because the thing is, I think the unbranded before that, you kind of were still in my head, because I almost had you one time. I remember, and then because I think you were at 1 HP. I tried to go for a Josie down 4, and you delayed hop kicked me my behind.
That sounds like me. I don't remember it, but that sounds like something else.
I still remember.
I love those moments. You're like, I don't remember, but that's something.
That's exactly, yeah.
Bro, I still remember that to that day. Like, I was like, okay, I'm winning. I got this. He's at 1. He's like 1-2% HP. Okay, I should be good. I could just go for a quick down 4 and then get over. Boom. I'm looking at like,
Yeah.
well, golly bum.
Hey, Dragunov doesn't have a hop kick. You gotta make do with what you got, you know?
I know, man. I know, but I still give it to you to that day. But to this very day, I thank you very much for being my behind, because you got me nowadays practicing and drilling out my throw breaks and stuff like that, man. That's all I gotta say, man.
We all make each other better.
Yep.
True that. I'm still decent on my throw breaks, but they could be a lot better though.
Steel sharpens steel, King.
Hey, indeed.
Steel sharpens steel.
And other than that, I think that's all I got really for memorable moments. Like I said, I have a lot of and you know what? Like I said before, one more memorable moment. Real quick, the Tekken Illuminati. Like one day on that Monday, I just woke up, checked my phone, saw that I got invited to the group, and I'm just like, okay. And we'll end it right there. Okay, Ultima? You, my dear friend.
Ultima.
All right, let me. I had to take off for a moment. Let me do this transformation.
Nice.
Oh, you
I
can see
don't-
now.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm right
can see
here.
the frame
I've been here. I can see everything.
Like, oh, I'm on a podcast. Word.
Do I got the cheater? Do
thought
I
we
got
were
the
just
hacks on?
talking.
Do I got the hacks on? Am I good?
Where do these mics come from?
Also, one more. Also, before Ultima goes, one more shout out, memorable moment. Me having those great matches with Miss Blue, of course. Hopefully, she's out doing well. Shout out to her, man.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Legendary.
So,
player.
I don't have many memories of Tekken 7, but that is where I discovered there was a scene there. Amanda was there. Shout out to her. Her matches with her.
Yeah, she's the only reason we have T8 alive, probably.
Yep.
Yeah,
To be honest,
that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's
And with Katarina. And
That's true.
I know she really.
That's true. And I'll probably
Katarina.
say this again at the end of this stream, but remember, Amanda has to go fund me for a better laptop to do her streaming and everything like that. If y'all can, make y'all donations.
That's
Yeah,
true.
we'll give it a go. I
We'll
know
be sure
we
to do
stopped
that.
around 600, if I'm.
I
assuming correctly.
recently donated 100, so it's now $670.
670. Okay. Oh, so then we're still waiting for that money match money to come through. Yo, Pollo, you got to pull up, bro.
Yeah.
That's $50. Put that shit in there.
True.
Yep. I don't have much memories of T7, but I do remember trying out my first Tekken locals at Miramar Masters. I got my ass beat when I was playing Eliza and Noctis. I didn't know anything at the time, but I was having fun regardless. And I remember Amanda one time kicking my ass with Katarina. It was a fun time, but most of my memories started with Tekken 8. And, I was a noob at the time. Me and Butters were getting into the game, still learning stuff. But I do have moments there that made me appreciate Tekken and the community for what it is. I have so many of them, but I could start with like me and Dad Koi just going game 5. You might not remember, but last year at ROK before I went to Frosty's, we went at it game 5 all the way, especially.
Sounds like all of our matches.
Yeah, sounds like all of our matches, but I remember ROK Dojo, even though I still didn't learn my punish and such, slowly getting into it, but I remember that. And then I remember fighting BB a bunch of times in bracket. We meet up, he beats my ass mostly, and I remember getting him like twice. And fighting pro players was like enough for me to like learn the game, how it works, and then get some advice too. And there was also King Ray, who beat my ass before ranked online. And I remember when I was taking a trip back in 2024, Jacksonville, that was like after Clive came out. I remember sending him to loser side, taking grands, and then he beat my ass. But it definitely shows how far I come, progress bit by bit. But there were 2 memorable moments I remember. And Frosty Faustings was where it was for me at the time, because I entered my first major for Tekken 8. Actually, no, that was TNS 2024, but Frosty Faustings was where I really made it far in a fighting game bracket.
It was top 16, wasn't it?
Top 16,
Yeah,
yes.
I remember that.
Shadow. I remember watching it.
I know Freyden, Dragon Slayer, Shadow was there, and I know there's that Nina player I lost to, but you know how I actually was able to make it to fight Freyden? After
Down back
Shaheen.
4.
No. Yeah. Shaheen did a rage art. I ran up and did down back 4 counter hit.
Really?
Yeah. and then
that was
that's
just
how
a
I won.
guess.
That's how I won that. But that's where I actually met Freyden, who still plays Harang. Really amazing Harang to fight. I haven't fought him in a bit, but he still plays amazing. And that was also the next day with Dragon Slayer. And I remember I met Shadow, and I had to be upfront and tell him before my match, I don't remember how to fight Zafine. I remember him telling me,
Don't
"You're not
tell
supposed
him
to,
that."
You're not supposed to tell me that. You're not supposed to tell me that." But I had to be upfront, and But it was a nice small talk with him about,
Yeah, he's cool.
he's cool.
When you say something like that, I feel like it kind of stresses out the other player a little bit. They're like, "Oh man,
I know.
I have to beat this guy."
Yeah,
And I mean, that's an advantage in a way.
it's an advantage, but it's nice. I feel like it's something to get out of your chest, even if it's something that's like a disadvantage for you. It's like, I guess in a way, it's nice to get the experience from a pro player like Shadow. And I know King Ray was there too. That avenged me from that Nina that I lost to. That eliminated me from the bracket. And that was at the time when I was stressed out with Strive at the moment, and I decided to take it all the way to Tekken. And after season 2, was it 2 months?
Those first 3 months, everybody was putting out.
Silverback knows this because he hosts at the convention center, and that was during season 1 as well, winning Otaku Fest. I did win one before with Strive, but my memorable moment was winning 3 Otaku Fests in a row, where I don't know if it sounds right to say it, but it felt like I was like Arsene Ash just winning. I felt like Arsene Ash just winning and winning and winning.
Bro, the what was it, first to 1 format type thing that we had going? It was like instant elimination.
Yeah.
It was single elim.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, my first match is Vinny. I'm like, okay, I've played Vinny before. And then my second match, it's Ultima. Again. And what
Random
happens?
seed blessed.
It goes to final round, last interaction. I saw him twitch. I rage arted. He didn't do shit. I died.
I thought I pressed something. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he said, "Oh my god," and he put his hands on his head, and then I'm like,
Yeah,
I like looked at him.
I remember. I kind of pressed something. I'm like, oh no. Don't
I
tell
heard
me.
the button click too.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
not that I was
you heard
looking
the
for
button
it, guys.
click,
I'm not cheating.
And I thought I pressed something myself. Like, wait, that didn't register.
Yeah, it didn't register his button, and I was like, all right, you win.
I was every time it's single eliminations, my heart races for some reason. It's always those brackets. that
Very
just,
nervous.
like,
It's nerve-wracking.
It's nerve wracking, but that's what makes it fun at the same time. Is like, oh, it's all on the line. But yeah, Otaku Fest 2024. Despite me doing the spamming some shit and not knowing a bunch, the only thing I did do correctly was sidestep Asuka's Heat Smash, and then went for the what is it, behind back four into the guarantee 4 neutral back 14 frame punish.
You do that? I didn't
Yeah.
know you do that.
Yeah, if you just a
Back
quick
four
just a
too?
quick Tekken fact, if you're behind an opponent, Lars can get a back four into 4 neutral back 2-1 because they'll have the time to turn around, but they'll still get hit regardless.
It's like the Brian
Statics.
backshot combo.
Yep.
Sorry,
Basically-
over here just like,
basically-
write it down, write it down, write it down.
It's like Paul's 3-2
3-2
into back sway line
yeah.
1+2.
That's
But
toxic.
yeah,
So much
that
damage.
and then Otaku Fest 2025 was where me and Cube fought. I remember Cube goes to convention centers for the fun, and we ran into each other in bracket. It was a fun experience, you know. I think the most fun for Otaku Fest was like the most people watched was Tekken.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
a
100%.
lot of people watched Tekken, and no matter the state it's in, people love that. Whether they're a fighting game fan or not, they love watching moments like that happen. And that was where the second time I won Otaku Fest, I remember. I can tell you that because Silverback Senpai watched my pop off, and a lot happened. And then Holiday Otaku Fest happened. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I have to win. I have to go again. I was debating on skipping, but a friend invited me to round 1, so I went in the afternoon, and again with the koi.
Yeah, you shouldn't have showed up. I would have had a
I
chance.
shouldn't have.
I would have had a chance to
I was
win
gonna
big.
probably lay back and say, maybe I'll lay back for this, but since it was, but my friend told me, hey, meet up at round 1 tonight. I just went to Otaku Fest Holiday, and I just took it the third time. Again, I'm like Arson Ash winning even over and over.
Bro, I still remember that, man. Yeah,
Still holds. the
Yeah,
crown.
no, yeah, because you and I fought in.
yeah, we fought in the grand finals.
Dude,
without a
I
doubt.
remember the wake up, 14 frame launcher. I don't know why. Like, I blame Big Majin for that because he did it on me. But those were the memorable Tekken moments, and also, the last thing was, of course, the community. And despite the frustrations and towards the game and ourselves, you still have fun no matter what, and you appreciate the people around you for how far you've come throughout the game and as a person. And that's where it feels like that's the same energy I had with Kingdom Hearts, and I start to feel that with other variety games too. So shout out to the community for being what they are and making things so great.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Beautifully said.
Alrighty. So we still got about, a good amount of time, a little bit left. So our next topic is going to be, what would you like to see change for the better future of Tekken?
I'm excited for this because we
Where's
did
the
get
Google Doc?
improvements.
Starting off with you, BB.
Because I see BB has like a list, so I'm guessing he probably has like a lot to say for just probably that topic alone.
Well, I mean, I wrote down a lot for everything in general, but I'm just, that's the type of, I have Tekken notes on here too if you want to look at them. Anyway,
I'd be happy to.
I
afterwards.
would want to mention.
But yeah,
I have a few things. There's one or two that were already mentioned before on the last Tekken podcast. I think Prophet and some of the others already mentioned character identity. Like there's a saying in combat sports that styles make fights, and I think that's an important thing. If everybody's identical, if everybody's
Mishima.
Homogenized.
A rush down mix up character.
to me, I find a little more boring watching boxing than it would be watching a Taekwondo guy fight a Jiu-Jitsu guy or something like that, right? Because somebody has strengths, somebody has weaknesses, And if everybody has the same metric and the same standards, I think it's boring.
Right.
So they made Dragonov a stance character. Jack too. Jack was like Mr. Fundamental. Now he has like the Gamma How and all the stances and whatever. They're trying to blend in too many characters to all work the same way. Shaheen has a stance, right? Well, he had a stance.
He always has the snake step.
But it's like more focused into all his movesets anyway.
And as far as I'm concerned, Claudio is the one character that doesn't have a stance.
Right. He just has an
Also Kazuya as well.
Well,
wave dashing.
Wave
Wave
well, you can
dashing,
count wave
wave
dashing.
dashing,
Wave
yeah.
dashing.
But
Asuka.
Asuka, no.
Oscar doesn't have a stance.
she doesn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
yeah,
so-
actually, yeah.
You're right.
I remember when I started to play Tekken 8, I was specifically looking for characters that didn't have stances, and it was hard to find one.
Right. Everybody, Jin.
Yeah, they usually have at least
Senna.
one.
But I mean, what I'm trying to say is like not only stances, but everybody has the same properties now. Like, not everybody's supposed to have a standard down forward one. Not everybody's supposed to have the same hitbox. Not everybody's supposed to have. So I think characters should feel different. And that Koi mentioned something about heat burst being removed when we were outside. I think that heat being earned instead of just a given, like instead of it just being a right that you have, something that you earn, I think is important, especially because it's so good defensively, right? Something I was telling him also outside is that dash blocking in Tekken 7 was a thing because you're dashing in somebody's face and you're like, what? Press a button, right? Are you scared? Are you not scared? Whatever. And somebody has to time the right decision. In Tekken 8, you just hit the right decision button. There's a button that automatically makes the right decision for you, and now it's your turn and your superpower.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of other stuff here, but the one thing, if I can have somebody listen and just one thing, right, is that in Tekken 7, I liked to do nothing. I like to stand there. I like to block. I like to predict what the opponent's going to do. And sometimes I would go on the offensive. I'm not saying that I would just stand there. But in this game, you can't stand there.
I agree, yeah.
You stand there and you're going to die, right? Even if you make all the right decisions, you're going to get chipped out. There's an unbreakable throw that's going to happen. There's some follow-up.
Guard break.
Some guard break, some wall smash, some whatever. Like, something's going to happen, right? And he mentioned the delayed hop kick. It's like, I look for defensive options, and I feel like a player like me has no place in this game. And that's why I kind of stepped away from it. Even in season 1, when I was winning like a lot, I wasn't having fun. Like, I would win and I would be unsatisfied because I'm not playing to my style. I'm playing to what works.
Right. You know what the win condition looks like for this game.
Yeah.
So you play into it, but it's not what you've trained
Right,
with.
because Tekken 8, their idea of aggressiveness was to try and appeal to everyone, but with the state it's in, it's not really working out. Like, sorry, what made Tekken 7 so unique, despite what you may feel about that game, and I remember seeing it in Sajam and FeedX talking about it, and there was a section about why Tekken 7 was so defense. I think if I had to say my thoughts on it was that what made Tekken 7 so defense game was that what made it so much have defense is the fact that you have many options of defense. Of course, Tekken is all about movement, the uniqueness of your defense, your character, and you had plenty of ways to like play defense. And Tekken 8 just removes that, and all you're just doing is aggressiveness, and you have to guess for your life, or there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I've said this since season 1, but I mean their patch notes really are like they tried to make a game for everybody, and they kind of are making a game for no one. And one of the problems that I have, which is a huge difference from T7 to T8, is obviously the backdash movement and the forward momentum of pressure in the game. There's a lot of characters like Lars, like Lydia, like Reyna, etc., that form their pressure while moving towards you, and you don't have a strong enough backdash to get away like 80% of the time. They stick to you like glue. and you just can't get them off
Right.
very easily without making a hard decision, like a hard read. And I think that it's okay to have like an offensive based forward momentum game, but when you do that and remove the backdash, now there's really all you're left with is a guess, a step, and there's a lot of moves that stop the step too. There's a lot
Eat
of
armor.
homing mids, homing highs that continue pressure, homing lows, plus frame lows, which is what I was going to talk about in my next thing as well a little bit, that continue offense. Like a move like Armor King Sidestep 2, you know, it high evades, it sidestep evades, it's plus, and he gets to go. Like, and if you press into that, you're dead. So
Yeah.
No, sorry. Go ahead. You had a thought.
I felt that way because I was learning Tekken 8 with the philosophies of what 7 was. So, you know, like first year I played Jin and I tried to learn Tekken that way. But then as I played more with year 2 and year 3, I realized like specific characters, like I remember we would play our set with Lars and Azucena. I realized at some point that me trying to use my movement enabled the win condition for like Lars or Arena, who have really good like movement forward options. So then I learned at that point, I can't be doing that. I have better chances of me running in and seeing what they do, scrapping, which is like so weird. Learning in Tekken, like with the Tekken 7 philosophy, that movement's more valuable.
Yeah.
And then seeing a lot of contradictions to that idea.
Right.
And it's really weird, but I've learned it. But yeah, it's just so weird to hear two philosophies and they're clashing.
Right.
it's strange because the casual players, I don't feel like really care about most of the patch notes in general. Like they took like the character or like the players who are, in general, like what they call casuals that like maybe play a couple hours a week, you know, they don't really care about the patch notes unless they're super detrimental to your character. Like if they, and they're not gonna blow up your character. Like you don't
No, they
even
won't.
know the max capacity of what your character is capable of. Even I don't know it. Like I've been
Right.
playing so long, I don't know. I can't do everything perfect on Dragunov still, and I've played him for 2,000 plus hours. It's like so yeah, like the patch notes I think should be oriented towards a higher level of play in a game like this.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that's what they want. They want the scrappiness to happen because it's easier for a player to wrap their head around, hey, press this button and something good is going to happen, than having the forethought and to actually think about the game and think about, oh, there's 3D, there's a backdash, there's something, a phrase that used to be talked about a lot in Tekken 7 is small Tekken. Right?
Yes.
And that would be referring to movement or jabbing or down forward one or small moves with specific use case scenarios. And there really is no small Tekken anymore. Like everybody is just throwing their nuclear bombs, right? There's no need to do a jab. Like there, obviously the jab is still there and it's important, but it loses a lot of value when everything else is so buffed.
Right,
And-
especially with the health increase, which by proxy neuters the poking as well.
And in terms of movement, like there's a lot of situations. Like one of the reasons why I don't like Lars as a character, one of the reasons why I don't like Victor as a character, Alyssa, is there's a lot of situations where in Tekken 7 you would be put in a situation, right? And let's say sidestep low parry is gonna work
Right.
against most options. And to stop your defensive option, they have to do something risky. They have to put their life on the line, do a launch punishable move, do a high that whatever, right?
Right.
So
RPS basically.
Right,
That has
so-
risk and reward.
so to beat your like all your option selects for all their options, to beat it, they have to open themselves up, right? And in this game, I feel like there are no sidestep low or you know there's very limited options in the range of defense that you are now just like, okay, are you gonna duck, are you gonna stand, or are you gonna sidestep? If you do, there's no like mastery in learning what a character does and then adapting to that, you know? It's mostly you're just looking at pattern recognition and okay, does he feel like doing a high today?
I felt that, yeah.
A lot of the things from the stances that catch that are like -8 or something. It's like their like reward for like stopping you from like all of this that you're doing is they just can't continue their pressure. That's like the reward that you get on defense is you stop them from continuing their pressure, and that sucks. You know, you feel like you work pretty hard to get almost nothing. You know, on
Yeah,
some characters.
you fight to just live. You don't get the punish.
Yeah, for the rock paper scissors analogy, it's like before they had to use scissors to beat paper. Now they just use scissors into scissors and go neutral.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're back.
Yeah, I just, in general, if anybody's listening, I just want to be able to block in peace.
Yep.
I want to make my opponent beat themselves, and,
Right.
or at least let me use my brain to think about the defensive side and not just about getting in your face and pressing buttons. And this is coming from a Dragunov player, right?
Right.
Because in T7 he was pretty bad. He was bottom 3, whatever ish. So you had to depend on your defense. Like I didn't have an offense to rely on.
Right.
Now everybody, including Dragunov, has an offense. But is that good or bad, right? You see a Dragunov player and you're like, in Tekken 7, you see a Dragunov player and you're like, oh, his movement is crazy. Like, oh, he read that. He just happened, right? Because that's the skills that he's accruing over time.
Yeah, like it was necessary.
Yeah, and now it's like that aspect of the game, and that's the last thing I'll say is that aspect of the game, it's still there. Like the defense is still there. I'm not gonna say it's not,
But defense basically got nerfed.
but it's under the value, the stocks are way down, and whoever bought into it last week is hurting.
Especially when you have a character like Lee. From what I understand, he was also a defense character.
I was about to get about.
back in T7.
Yeah, now he's a
But
rushdown. Like
now he's a rushdown. That defeats the whole purpose of what the character
Right.
is supposed to be.
Right.
yeah,
Because if you're playing a character and the whole purpose of what that character wants you to do, you have to follow that. And characters like Dragunov and Lee, they're designed around defense. That's good, but breaking that term with season 2, that just defeats the purpose of what they were originally are.
Right.
yeah. I'd rather Dragunov be bottom 1 and have defense come back than continue with Dragunov at top 1 and play the current state of.
Yeah, a lot of the characters that have rushdown, like Dragunov, also still retain their strengths, like the defense. Like Dragunov still has the movement, and he has a lot of the tools that he had in T7, but better for the most part. But it's like in T7, you know, Dragunov steps me, makes a hard read, and I'm like, damn, he outplayed me. In this game, Dragunov lands QCF4 at the wall, and then he just farms his lows. He's just farming everything. You're just stuck in the corner. You're like, dog, I can't play the game. And that sucks, you know. Same thing with most of these defensive characters, too. It's like everyone's rushed down almost.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
That was the last thing I was going to mention. If you want to keep on in your thought.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay.
The question is, what would you like to see change for the better future of Tekken?
He also has a Google Doc.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to be that long. These aren't very in-depth, but in general, these aren't really in order. But one thing that I definitely agree with the whole fundamental of bringing defense back, and I think that this helps with it a lot. I think this is the biggest change that you could probably do to T8 is when you press a button in T8, it feels like your hitbox expands like a bubble. Like you get significantly larger. So there's like characters like Brian, right, who have a move like forward 3, which is a counter hit knee. Yeah. But it's linear, you know, you can step it to the right. But as soon as you press a button, boom, you're gone, right? Like it all of a sudden it's tracking. This move becomes tracking because you pressed a jab. It's like why is my hitbox expanded so large for these small moves? And like moves like jab have higher recovery in T8 from T7. So like you'll do a jab, get launch punished. It has more recovery than an electric. It's like
That blows my mind.
why? It's like why does a jab have more risk than a raw +5 launcher?
yeah.
And I mean obviously electrics take skill, and I'm not trying to take away from the Mishimas, you know, they're great. But
That was very political of you.
yeah, you know, they're fantastic. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about, this is a little less important, I suppose, but low risk lows that continue offense, right? So like a low like I mean I mentioned Armor Kings, but like Leo's minus what is it 12 or 13 counter hit launching low, and there's multiple lows that are plus that continue offense, and it's low risk, high reward for the person. It's like there's a lot of moves like that, and there's a lot of mids that are homing that do that too. Those could probably be nerfed. Those are easier to nerf, I think.
Right.
I remember when talking to Cube one time when I was at round 1, he was talking about how Lars's lows are not minus 14, and then for some reason they're minus 12, which
Yeah.
I think that's fair, because the having minus 12 lows and not launching them, because what's Kazuya's best launch?
13.
13?
It was 13
Yeah.
frame. Jin has a 14.
Yeah, 'cause
June
characters
has another
like
one.
Jin down 2, Dragonoff down 2 as well.
Down to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Minus
Kazuya
13.
can punish that, but for some reason, when it comes to Lars, most of his lows, when you don't count down back 4, are minus 12 for some reason. And I do think having minus 14 would be a fair change as a Lars main myself.
Yeah, it
'Cause
depends on the low, really.
It depends on the low, yeah, but I can see what Cube is coming from when he talks about how some lows being like the way they are, like Leo's, is actually stupid.
Yeah, and there is lows that are, in quotation, like balanced as a powerhouse low. Like Lee's down 3 it tracks to both sides, sort of. Right? Does it track to both sides?
I don't know. I can't speak now, but
Yeah, I'm not really sure on the tracking for Lee's, to be honest. But it's a counter hit launching low that high crushes immediately, and it's very fast, 16 frames. And what's it called? You throw that out, but if they block it, they kill you. You know, there's moves like Fangs down back 3 on counter hit, grants a lot of damage, and a mix on wake up. But you know, it doesn't continue their offense, and it's launch punishable. Those are, I think, appropriately powered lows, somewhat. So, yeah, and then there's moves like Lars's down back 4. You can at least punish it, but why is it +5? Why does it instant high crush at +5? You know, he can press whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Maybe make it like +2 max, so that he can't just mash his WoW Rising 1/2 one launcher or whatever.
I remember the wildest change they did when Season 2 launched was Lars Len 1, for some reason, having that much plus frames on hit.
Oh yeah, it was like 16.
On yeah,
it was
plus
like
16,
they would
and then they had
be like, ah.
yeah, and you had to like, you just couldn't do anything about it. You had to
What
hold
a
that, and then
change.
the next patch they just reverted that.
They had to emergency patch Lars's low because of that. That's so funny. They were like, "Dog, shut it down. We need to
Like,
stop."
they hate
this
us. They
now."
hate us.
I'm sorry to interject, but speaking of emergency patches, I've been playing other games, right?
Right.
None of them are competitive, but single player, Slay the Spire, whatever.
Yep.
And I read those patch notes and how you mention emergency patches and whatever. First of all, why do we have to wait 2 months, 3 months? If you make a bad choice, right? How does that work logistically? Why do we have to wait until a season whatever patch to fix a problem that we know happened 4 months ago?
Yes.
And also, like, explain why you're doing what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of situations where it's like, oh, this change, right? This change happened. And then everybody is like, why the fuck is this?
Yeah, they have.
Why is this in
Yep,
the game? And they're just like, deal with it.
Yep,
Like,
and-
we'll talk to you in 3 months.
And let's
Like,
let's not forget. Sorry if I'm interjecting. Of course.
No,
Let's
you're
not
good.
forget- Let's not forget to interject. Season 2 was like how many months before season 3? Like we had a near year for season 2. People were giving them feedback of what they were doing wrong, and how they could fix and correct these issues. Bomb and guess what? Harada and Nakatsu and Bongo, they aren't listening. The
yeah,
Tekken project-
and there's no we're sorry or we made a mistake or whatever.
Exactly.
It's like
it's clear. It's clear at this point. Like they, like forget you guys. We want to make what we want to make.
a developer that will not be named is just going on Twitter and just being like playing the victim, and it's like, oh, why is everybody coming at me? He's the game director, right?
Like my guy.
What do you mean? Why is everybody coming at you? It's on your watch, brother.
You're the game director. You are overseeing everything going on with your game.
Yeah, and then he's like, why am I being bullied online? Well,
Am I
maybe,
s-
like?
Am I so out of touch? No, it's the pro players that are wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why decisive when you can just block it, right?
Yep.
The famous last
Yeah,
word.
Classic.
But yep, if you're done, are you still gonna go?
No, I was gonna keep going just a little bit longer.
Okay, go ahead.
What's it called? So, I've I kind of lost my train of thought here, but I'll just go on to another thing that this is like a very minor issue, honestly, for me. But it kind of adds a little bit of competitive like value, I guess. But the damage reduction on like certain like rage art activation and stuff, like you'll use a rage art, right? And you'll have like 50% damage reduction. So someone uses a move that would kill you at your health bar, and then all of a sudden it doesn't, is pretty annoying, especially when you have heat smash and the heat and the rage. It's like you could be fighting a king player, right? He lands a giant swing on you, he throws out a heat smash, you tried to press, and he rage arts you, and you're dead. Your entire health bar is gone, and it's like, dog, please, like, you know, stuff like that, like 3 interactions with like non-launches is pretty toxic, I think, for the game as a whole. So it's like the rage art damage reduction, maybe having none of that, no damage reduction on that would be pretty cool as well. But that's just a tiny little thing for me.
I feel that
anyways, that's a
sentiment, yeah.
personal preference.
Okay.
But, yeah. Oh, you can go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. How Tekken could be better. Honestly, as I want to bounce off of what B-Bucket is saying, bringing back character identity, buffing movement, and buffing defense. Because I was discussing this in the group chat. I think you were there, Ultima, with Dastry, and you might have been there, Corey. Like, they're trying to lean everyone towards being aggressive, rushing down, mixing it up. But there are some characters, like you said, that are not designed for that. Like, Lee is supposed to be a defensive, technical counter-hit-based character. Same thing with Brian, a technical counter-hit, defensive-based character. But you're designing around a place out that they were not designed for, and that just makes things like straight awkward overall to play, because you're causing you're kind of causing, like, let's just say, like, some pro players or legacy players to just throw what they know about these characters or about Tekken in general out of the window for them being all mashy and going crazy, going
And it's the same.
And all that. It's like, bro, like I said, be playing ranked. It's like I'm putting these characters in plus frames and all that, trying to just take my time and everything. These people love the mash.
And it's the same thing that applies with Dragunov, where he's supposed to be a defense character, and I know that because BB and Koi told me stuff about Dragunov.
Yeah, that actually reminds me, talking about character identity, one of the things about Season 2 that I actually really liked was adding moves to, or like adding variety to a move that's not good. Like bad moves that are like very underutilized, like Dragunov's pigeon roll, adding stuff to give it like an interesting utility that matches his martial art, I think is really cool. Like they removed his generic tackle in this game, which I found very strange. Like Paul still has a generic tackle, Azucena has a generic tackle, and so does King, but for some reason Dragunov does not have it, because I guess they thought it would be overtuned because of the fact that his heat one becomes unbreakable, right?
Right.
Which that's like his character identity, is that he's the tackle guy now. And I mean, God forbid Marduk shows up. But
Let's do another podcast for that conversation.
Yeah,
but in general, like I did like the idea of the pigeon roll, and I like the character identity that you get from that. Like Lars has lightning.
Right.
He's the lightning rushdown guy. In Season 2, they added lightning bolts to his shit. They're overtuned.
He becomes Thor.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Like they could, if they can do that in like a balanced way, then I would like stuff like that. Like I don't know why Brian has snake eyes. We could just remove snake eyes.
Oh yeah.
For the lightning, as soon as I finally made a Sora outfit for Lars and started using sidestep 2, Send 3+4, I'm just like Sora summoning thunder at this point.
Yep.
Thunder!
Disgusting.
Yep. But to continue off some of the points, also better, like you said, for the one that shall not be named, better communication with the community. Community straight doggone
Wait,
up,
sometimes-
because
Sorry.
no, you go ahead.
No, I've been talking a lot, but what's it called? Sometimes the patch notes will read really weird. They'll have like a patch note that's like, How wrong was losing most of the time, so we nerfed him. And it's like,
Not.
okay.
No.
There was
I think.
definitely a disconnect
I remember
between their statement and then what was.
Yeah, and
Now
then what happened.
that you speak of the patch notes, I remember like in the season 2 patch notes, it was like one of them I remember was like Lars wasn't able to get his game plan going, so and his pressure wasn't real, so we decided to make his pressure real. Like,
Yeah, and it's like the nerf that they did, or the buff that they did to Lars, where they made it so when he enters his stance after Den 3 and does 1, it used to not beat Rage Art. And now it beats Rage Art.
It used to be +3 on season 1, and then when Eddie came out, it was when they changed it to +5. So you can't sidestep it, you can't Rage Art, you can do.
Yeah, and
the only thing you can do is Heat Burst and Power Crush.
That feels kind of weird to me because it's like, yeah, that sucks for the Lars player who jumps on you in Rage, but it's like if you know they're in Rage, the smart thing to do would be to not use that move instead, rather than rely on this move now beats. It's like this is now your catch-all option. You know, you can't step it, you can't do anything. You have to hold that, and it's made that stance really toxic. So
yep. But speaking of better communication with your community, because here's the thing, they're trying too much to appeal to these casual players, and I do get it. I think this is kind of, if I'm using the correct term, a microcosm of what's going on with gaming nowadays, which games are getting more expensive to make. They got to make more money, which that's very understandable. But here's the thing. The casual players aren't even enjoying any of this. Goodness gracious. And I remember I watched a Maximilian video of a tweet that Dodo Toya made, if I'm saying the name correctly. He was talking about how fighting games will never be casual friendly. Because guess what? There's always going to be death. There's always going to be better players. There's always going to be winners and losers. You can try to soften the loss as much as you like. But guess what? If you lose, you're still going to lose regardless.
yeah. Also, it gives no incentive to the casual players.
Exactly.
It gives no incentive for them to get better because they're like, oh, I get better just so I could get 50-50 mix on by this scrub.
Exactly.
You know? That sucks for them.
Exactly. Just tell the casual player to go like all over the place. Also regarding toning down aggressiveness, I think guard break should be balanced because here's the thing. Shaheen has a guard break, but at least Shaheen could use his guard break in Heat. The thing is, you have Steve and Heihachi's guard break, which forces you to have the guess, which I kind of like because you have some characters like again Shaheen. I think Jack, who at least has a guard break, but at least it requires Heat. That should be that should be a condition for all characters, of course.
Yeah, I think it depends on the move. Like Shaheen's removes gray health, which is really strong, and like Heihachi's comes after his heat smash, which is problematic. I think that his high should just not guard break at all.
At the very least, like Shaheen, if they're outside Heat, they should. If like Shaheen and Jack, if they're outside Heat, it should just give plus frames. That's it.
I mean, we're talking about guard breaks.
Yeah.
We're talking about guard breaks.
Yeah, I don't know about guard breaks existence in general. If it
let me
allowed.
Block, brother.
Let us block.
Unless you're hitting me with a low or I fuck up on taking a throw, I should not be taking damage.
Yeah, and then we have unbreakable throws as well. That's another one that I don't really like.
Yeah, like Reyna has a bunch of setups. There's a bunch of characters with unbreakable throws. King.
Heihachi has one off.
Yeah, the broken toe, or I think
broken toy, which used to be a neutral throw, but now he gets.
I love that throw.
Now he gets it and makes it unbreakable from stance, of course.
Yeah, it's so devastating.
Unless you're hitting me with a low, or I fuck up on a throw break, let me stand there.
Yeah. It's so scary to think that like in those heat situations, like you're by the wall usually, and that's usually the case. And then the risk reward is if they're right on either high or mid. I get blown up for 80 damage either way, and if I'm right, all right, cool. I didn't die. It might not be my turn, but I didn't die.
It was the same thing with Clive when he launched. He has a guard break off of Heat, full forward to charge, and then you would be able to wall splat. I think guard breaks into wall splat are too much.
Yeah,
they're too much.
Hachi hitting me with that, bro.
And that's like, that reminds me. They said we removed wall splat from heat smashes, but then they still get heat smashes if the first hit misses.
Yo, shout out to Trunkies who's fighting Arslan Ash. But when I played his ass, it was like I forget when this was. It was a couple of months ago, but I was playing him. and it made me realize how toxic Heihachi is because it's like Heihachi lands one electric, and it's like, okay, that's fine. But if there's a wall on this stage and he lands at the wall, half your health is gone. You wake up into Heat Smash. You can't step because you're on Wake Up, right? You wake up into Heat Smash, and now you have to guess. And if you guess right, you just survive, right?
Right.
That sucks. You know, like he
really is a two-touch character.
He does the high, and you're actually dead.
Oh
like
my-
it's actual.
Don't even get me
off
started.
of a guess.
Don't even get me started when he's in the Warrior's Instinct.
Yeah, that I mean,
That's
yeah,
even
that
another one.
that one's not great.
It's-
The thing about Warrior's Instinct that I actually do like, this is the only thing I like about it, is that you have to activate it in the round. So like, technically, there's counterplay by attacking the Heihachi to try and stop him. He has to launch you or throw you on the floor or something so that he could activate it, you know, to be safe about it. Of course, it is like, it has a lot of pushback on the
Right, but that's
activation,
easy.
too,
But
with stuff.
attacking Heihachi when he has it is easier said than done.
Yeah, no, it's not easy to stop him from doing it. But the fact that you can, I like that. I like that it's just not like Lydia. She's like, oh, I got these stocks for free. She's literally making free money. June coin all day fucking long.
Yep.
We've got,
and then 100. Masinko ha.
yeah, and then we've got bitch ass Eddie. What's his? He's doing whatever. He doesn't care. In this season, he's awful too. Like he's like so strong. They made one of his moves. It was 17 frames fast. They changed it to 14. It's like this move is now super usable, and it's like, I don't know, like that. I don't feel like that's the way to make a move usable. Maybe
Right.
give it more utility in a different variation, not just speed it up to this like 14 frames is crazy, you know.
Yeah,
I agree. But, yep. Also, one minor one I have to make the game better. Bring back key charge counter hit.
True. Why'd they
Yes.
remove that?
There was no.
I
there
was just using
there was
my
no.
setup.
There was no reason to remove that.
There was no reason to remove that. It was so cool. I think, despite what you may feel, it was so cool seeing after a tornado, you do the key charge and you just do whatever you want to do next. That was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
And for some reason, that's gone.
I like the key charge setups, and they saw that Howrang did it once, and they removed it. It's like, okay.
I don't even care about key charge. I've never done a key charge setup in my life.
That's
But
just cool.
me neither.
Same thing with me, but I just think it's just traditional because it's been in the game since Tekken 3.
yeah, I mean, I don't care about the setups, but being in practice mode and having to go into the pause menu to set up counter hits
Yeah, that sucks.
No.
instead of just pressing all 4 buttons, key charging, and then you get a counter hit.
Exactly.
Oh,
It makes it so much easier in training mode to lab a
Yep.
bunch of situations than having to like time waste. You know.
interesting.
I agree. They did make it so that you could like do like a button to like counter hit activate, but it's still like
Yeah.
it's. I just miss I like the key charge. I like a lot of old mechanics that were like niche. You know, key charge, chicken.
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah. Dude, chicken was so cool because it gave like a very strange counterplay to like a counterplay.
Yeah, and
What is chicken? I'm actually on.
So-
Basically, when you know Oscar and Paul have their parries, right?
I'm sorry.
You know Oscar and Paul have their parries, right?
Yeah.
When you get caught by the parry to the window, in which you can counter it with, you can counter it by pressing like if you do like a 1, you could do forward 1 + 3 or 2 + 4, and then it reverses that parry. Basically, boom,
It's
chicken.
parry reversals pretty much. Like you could, if you got caught by an Asuka parry, you can push her off of you if you have the right timing, like a throw break. So you're like, oh my god, like look, I got parried. Let me try and react real fast and
Yeah,
stop it.
you can reverse a parry. It's basically.
I didn't even know that existed.
But it's kind of hard to do because
That-
like if you're doing a string, right, and it's the second hit of the string that they're trying to parry, and the second hit's a 2, right? You have to press a specific button for each limb.
Yeah.
So like if it's on the right side, you have to press a specific.
Yep,
But if
forward 2 + 4. Yep.
If it's on the left side, you have to press a specific. So whatever. You see somebody do it, it's like, wow, they threw this attack, and you have to buffer the reversal, whatever. So somebody's doing it with the intention of this high level mechanic that you're gonna see once a year, right? So then when it happens, it's like,
Yeah.
oh my
it
god,
was
this guy is a god. Like he just, you know, because
Yep.
he has the foresight of, oh, this idiot's gonna think he's gonna parry this left punch, right?
Yep.
Let me reverse, boom, and then when it happens, everybody's stun locked.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's I kind of like that idea because there's a lot of moves in different fighting games where the utility isn't even like a reward of damage. It's the reward of like, I just
Psychological.
messed you psychologically. I'm going to see if you're going to stop doing that now.
I've only done it once in person, and I remember I did it because I'm like, this fucking guy keeps parrying this fucking thing. And he parried me 3 times, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it again. Watch this.
Yeah.
Boom. And then when I get it, it's like there was no reward in it.
Yeah.
But the reward for me was fuck you, like, you know, and that's the psychological part of why it's so sick. Like, and you see it once a year.
Yep.
And that's so important because the fights are part game, but also part psychological against your opponent. So I
Yep.
think there's value in that.
Yep.
That's crazy they removed that.
Again, it's sad that they removed that in Tekken 8.
Damn, man, that's tough.
Jump over tech. I like jump over tech.
They removed
Oh yeah, in 7.
They removed jump over tech in T7 at the end. I didn't know it happened, but there was like a lot of combos that you could do, like jump over tech. And one of the things that I really liked with T7 was you had to pick between Oki and high damage for your enders, your wall enders.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, but then there's a lot of characters like Lars, for example. He has this catch-all wall ender that makes it so they splat on the ground, come back up, and splat again, and they just can't get up. Like, it's like you have the Oki and the damage. Every character almost has that.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah, I've heard now everybody in Tekken 8 just has a one combo that does everything.
it's
Like,
just not healthy.
The thing I think about, and speaking of identity, the thing I love about Tekken 7, especially back in seasons 1 and 2, is that only a few characters had really good wall carry. And that was Master Raven and Hwang. Near the end of Tekken 7, they gave everyone like good the great wall carry now.
Or it was locked behind high execution.
Right.
Like Dragunov or Lee or Shaheen's cancels combos.
Oh yeah, the
you
stance
had to
kicks.
use
I
those.
remember they made
Nina.
it easier to stance cancel.
Yeah.
Nina. Oh yeah.
Like they had a lot of combos that were super high, like for Lee doing back 2 loops.
Yep.
Yep.
You used to see back 2 loops, and it's like this guy's a Lee player, you know? Like
Yeah.
you used to see that, and now it's like there's no reason to do back 2.
I do them just for fun. Like I'll
just for the
be
vibe.
on like the first to 10s in Orlando, and I'll do that, and I just hear the crowd start amping up with each kick.
I love
like
it.
I'll do the kicks. I'm like doom, and they're like oh, and I'm like yeah, it's like that.
But now there's no like you get prime
Like-
wall carry in optimal combo, and it's like
Yep, the same thing that happened with Shaheen in season 3. Like back then, I love the practices. He used to use the wild same 3 loops, go into snake step and then swoop, and then finish with the 4-4-3. Now they made it easier for everyone. I'm like,
Part of the homogenizing of characters.
yep.
Yeah.
And don't forget, I think like 52 or 30 to 50 something times they said the word easier appeared 30 to 50 something times in the patch notes of season 3.
Easier to use. And Leo players were so pissed about that too, because Leo is a technical character, and then removing that technical aspect just ruins any uniqueness out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean the first example of this I think is Law. Law lost his DSS stance, like transitions, and like you can't tell the difference between a good Law and a bad Law. Like they're just
Yep.
they can all do everything high execution perfectly.
yeah.
So
Wilder, yeah, it was on you.
Okay. I don't have much, but I did remember one thing I talked about with Heat Burst. Heat Burst is a unique idea for everyone to have, but if you're gonna put that into a 3D fighting game, you need to make it like it has to be earned. Like you can't just
Right.
like I used to when I started Tekken and the round started. I'm just gonna throw it out there and just waste all my resources, and I realized that's not the way to go for Heat Burst, and that just makes it too easy for everyone to access. Because as soon as you're in Heat, just do fuck all, I guess. So you need to make it where at the start of the match, you have to build it up, and then you can use it. Like any other 2D fighting game has that.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
That's a change that I think would be big for me, and then for just Tekken 8 in general. Because it's not fun when, you start a match in fighting game and everyone has meter.
Right.
It's
turn
not-
Heat
it's-
Burst into a Warrior Instinct type thing.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. I like that idea. I felt that same way about Heat, where it was weird that it was accessible every game or in every round.
Yeah.
And then I knew they didn't want to do that philosophy of earning because they made Heat way less in time, but it's available every round. So I wish they would.
Yeah.
Where they make you earn it, but they decided we want it every round, but we'll just make it less belligerent and less time of
I
belligerency.
mean, it's nice that they toned it down, but I still believe that having to earn it would make more sense.
I
in
agree.
a way.
I definitely
Because if
agree.
you're turning into a 3D fighting game into a 2D fighting game and having meter, just do one thing right for like a bar mechanic, and then I'm sure many people wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah.
Because Heat is cool. Heat in a Tekken game is cool, but it's doing it in the wrong way ever since Season 2 came out.
Yeah, I mean, Heat stacked on top of Rage. It's just
It's
a
that
lot.
they should not be.
a lot.
that.
Recharging heat. Yeah.
I think
You're
in terms of
recharging.
earning it, like if you don't want to make the player earn it, then at least make it once a game, because then it's special, right? Because
Yeah, I could rock with
if
that.
it happens every round, if you see the superpower invincible version of this character every single round, it loses its muster. Like you're not not to say you're not scared of it, but like that's just the normal of the character is being in heat. It's not being normal.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Leroy's
yeah.
Kane.
Like
Looks really
everybody
good.
would
Leroy's
do
King.
one combo,
I could
heat
definitely agree
engage,
with that.
and then the next interactions with heat. I've never seen anybody not finish a combo and then not activate heat. It was like a standard I saw in Tekken
Right,
8.
because it's like, why would you die with it? Might as well put it out there and get this crazy advantage.
I think
Yeah.
one thing I think one thing I could agree with. I'm not sure. I don't remember who said it, but Heat Burst should be more like a defensive mechanic, similar to like Soul Charge and Soul Calibur 6, where if you activate it, it shouldn't do any hits or anything like that, but it should at least like reset to neutral in a way.
Just the last thing I wanted to mention, so you can keep, is also the psychology behind popping heat. Like, let's say you keep Heat Burst, but you make it once a game. Are you gonna spend heat early to get an advantage, to then win the first round and get momentum, or are you gonna keep heat so then when you're down 2 rounds to 1, you can get that round to tie it up and go to the final round, or what? Like, are you preserving it, or are you going balls to the wall? That adds more player expression too. It's like, okay, are you going all in and putting all your chips in the middle, or are you like slow rolling and
That I could agree with. Very similar to like the
Yeah.
very similar to like Rage Mode in Samurai Showdown, for example.
Yeah, I like that idea where like if you're mid combo and you're like, if I use heat, I could close out this round, or I could save my heat and maybe if I need it for another round. Like I like that idea. Like I feel like it'd be a good option to close out the round
Yeah.
most times.
Brings in character identity and then player identity.
It also,
Yeah.
the unique combos that we see through Heat is one of the reasons why I really like the Heat Burst, and we would see them less frequently, which makes them once again more special, right? Because everybody does their combo, does their Heat Burst, does whatever, and it's like these combos are cool, and I like the versatility, but everyone's doing the same one every round.
It's literally the same thing over and over. A combo, or you just activated it in neutral. It's literally the same thing, and something about it has to change. And yeah, it's like, I agree with what B mentioned. It's like, are you gonna just throw it out in there, or you're gonna keep it for like as a trump card?
yeah,
Yeah.
But
or get out of jail free, or
something
That
like
that,
that.
that I could definitely agree with.
because right now you're getting pressured, right? You just press the
You-
button and get your pressure
plus
off.
Yeah,
of you.
because once the opponent starts doing pressure, it's like, oh, I have heat. I can get out of that. It's
Yep.
like it's a get out of jail
Brainless.
card.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty of using that all the time because like
you
it's
have to.
yeah, it's like why would I use my minus 14 armor move, right? When I have this one that's +1. It's
Yeah,
like dog.
It's like
It gives me
I
superpowers.
used to
Yeah, it gives me superpowers.
We're
Yeah,
playing
and-
Dragon Ball. in
I used to
Tekken 8.
I used to feel like I'm definitely earning something with season 1, and now onward I feel like I'm not getting any satisfaction with heat, and no matter how I use it, it's just throwing it out there, yada yada yada, calling it a day, and to the next round. It's boring. As much as I think Lars combos are cool, doing tailspin into heat burst is too much. I don't care about what you're trying to make heat. You need to make it that's something earned. I still believe that.
Oh my god.
I think
Dude,
that
this
would
combo.
rationalize the power that they've given Heat in this game too.
Honestly.
Like a lot of people complain about Heihachi's Warrior Instinct, but like you see it so infrequently that it's like it's not too bad. Like it's like Heihachi gets a free round occasionally, but it's definitely toxic because of how overpowered his is. 12 frame launchers are not okay.
Right.
So,
I agree.
but sorry, Pico, go ahead.
It's all good, but also some adjustments I could see could work with nerfing and adjusting heat. Is like if a heat like if a heat smash whiffs, it should stop after the first hit, making it somewhat punishable.
That's literally what I was gonna also point out.
Because the thing, I remember seeing a YouTube video from INOP or someone like that where how should I convey it? Oh yeah, where he made a video like what would happen if Heat Smash were more punishable at the first, like if you whiff it and then they leave themselves open and then you get the whiff punish it instead of them still continuing to Heat Smash, traveling far away, and then you having to chase them to punish it. And unfortunately, it could be by the time you get your punish, you don't get anything.
God forbid they have like a option for backtrain. Like I was with Senna, she'll be in like a Libitor forward. I'm like backturn counter.
That's literally another thing I was gonna point out is that heat smashes going on whiff should not be a thing, especially for Lars, because Lars has a heat smash where he does like a foot dive and he can go in. He has the option to go into stance or not, but they need to make it for characters that go into stance after heat. You should not be going into stance when it whiffs.
Yeah, it should probably be like a stumble thing. They should probably like stumble and be like minus like, I don't know, 18 plus or something like that.
Also, one thing I'm thinking that could be a good idea also is shortening the combo length, because you know how you can do a tornado and then do 2 tailspins.
Yeah, that was a thing that Lars had when season 2 came out. He can do full, running 1 into send 4 and double tailspin.
Characters
remove one, reduces to just 1 tailspin per combo.
I agree.
As you were saying,
characters like Law and Lars were able to do like 3 in a combo. And
Kazuya can. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Kazuya had like 2 to 3 from.
Yeah, with the sidestep 4-1. I mean, I think if you remove the heat burst part, you solve like parts of these issues too. Like the combo length will be saved if like the heat burst is only usable once. Because I mean, I don't mind being in a 15-20 second combo one time, but like, don't do it every match, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, with that being said, we are slowly coming up on time, so I'm gonna hit you all with the last and final topic. How much does Tekken mean to you? We're gonna start off with Wielder, and we're gonna end it off with B Bucket.
Good vibes. I like that.
I never realized how much it meant to me until I actually like got into Tekken, because it's the same thing with like a fighting game you're getting into, and then you realize that when you go to a scene and there's just people having a fun time. That's how I felt with other fighting games before I took one seriously, and then in another, and something about Strive and Tekken just leaned it towards me. You know, it's truly something amazing and special to you when you're out there for the fun. No matter no matter what happens, it's like, gosh, I'm trying so hard to find the right words, but it's like like. You're just building your bonds with people. You're building your friendships with everyone around you that you care so much. And that's just what makes fight game community so great, is like the people around you. And with Tekken, it's like these people are really amazing at what they do and what they talk about. And any fighting game community in general. And Tekken, it's like, wow, there's just something so unique about a 3D fighting game that I did not know, and that's just what makes it special to me, honestly.
All right, my turn. Yep. Honestly, for me, Tekken will always have a special place in my gaming life. It helped me meet you guys, made me a better player overall, and even during my time playing Tekken, I'd always try to expand to other fighting games throughout my time throughout my time within the fighting game community. But then, like, I tried to do Virtua Fighter, Sam Show, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Soul Calibur. Guess what? I'd always come back to Tekken, and especially with the Tekken series, Tekken 7 has that special place in my heart, because it was through how should I say this? Because it's probably gonna sound like a bunch of words out of it, but it was through Tekken 7 that I met a lot of really great players that I managed to go outside of town. I know it's probably once, but get to go to these events that these great TOs, Convicted of Fun, you Senpai, Amanda, the Heart Container hosting, and I'm glad that we still have a scene here to this very day. And I'll make a few shout outs to Gandito, aka Paco, Slick Sinister, Inca, Limit 47, miss my friends, Keldrum, Ericy, Mark, aka Stalker, Blanco Nino. Rest in peace to the Will. Shout out to Miss Blue. Shout out to Dacoy, BB, Butters. Shout out to Ultima. Shout out to Cube. Shout out to I don't want to lose people. Shout out to the Rio Law. And you know what? Shout out to Nomi for allowing the tournament to be hosted at Temple Tavern. And let's just keep the scene going, keep it strong. And let's not forget, Amanda, the Heart Canary does have a GoFundMe for just a better laptop and setup to stream matches and VODs. Don't forget to donate to that as well.
I'd like to just point out that you didn't mention Prophet. Fuck you, Prophet.
Oh my goodness. Let me hold on a sec. I am first thing first, forget BB. No offense to you, BB. And I am very sorry, Prophet. Shout out to Prophet Noda, by the way. And I think I did say Blue, but just make sure. Shout out to Miss Blue, by the way, as well.
One more thing I might add. Yeah, shout out to Flynn's Gaming, 10th Level Tavern, everyone in the scene that is still running the local scene to this day. I am so sorry. To this day, and no matter what game it is, and they're putting it out there with all their heart and making sure everybody has a fun time. So shout out to Senpai, to everyone. And shout out to that one advertisement that I found back in 2021 during my Strive days. If it wasn't that, I wouldn't be here. So shout out to them.
Yep.
All right, that go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Tekken to me, I guess when you're going through life, in general, not to get a little philosophical on you, but you kind of just, there's a lot of things going on and I don't really, or at least I, for one, didn't really know what I liked. Like, I don't know what I like. Like, I go around doing, like, serial hobbyist things, doing things, trying to see what sticks, Right. We could be playing pool. I could be collecting, Warhammer figures, playing chess, doing all sorts of things. Because there's a lot to do in life, and there's not as much time to do it as you would want,
Right.
And so one of the things that really helped me a lot was just in general, Tekken, like coming over here, playing with everybody. It was one of those things that stuck with me, whether it was because of the players or because of the game, because of the depth. I could really sink my teeth into the game while also, sinking my teeth into the community, for lack of a better term.
Hey,
I like that.
But in general, everybody has been really great to me, and it's been fun to like hear everybody and see everybody. And every time I'm working during the day, I'm like, damn, this job sucks. But I'm like, Sunday's gonna be fun though.
Yeah, Sunday.
I wish I can take the Monday off to go to 10th Level Tavern.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually what I did. I have my Monday off just so I could go. But like stuff like that, it makes me be like, I do like this. I do want this to stick in some way, shape, or form. So I do hope that Tekken 9 or the continuation of Tekken 8 is a successful thing. And I think that's kind of the thing with all the people who are dooming on Twitter, all those people, they're very passionate. They want this to succeed. This is a lot of what they have in their life. So the developers are like, why am I getting hate? This is what they have. You've made this.
This is their life.
This is their life. You're affecting
Some
their life
portion in some
effectively.
way.
It may be a game, but that's not all it is, to the competitive players. They go out, they do things, spend hundreds of dollars on trips, going out to combo breaker majors, big things like this. It's a lot. And one of the things I do like about Tekken is I'm not a big traveler. I don't like traveling because, I don't know, I just like being indoors. But this gives me an excuse to like see these places because there's a lot of places I want to see. I want to see Greece.
Yeah.
I could go to Clash of the Olympians.
Right.
Make an excuse to see Greece. I want to go to all sorts of places. Evo, France, or whatever. And this is a great excuse to do that, have that trip while still being in the confines of something that I desire and like.
I felt the same way. My family was like, "Why are you traveling?"
2 for 1.
For video games.
It's 2 for 1, baby.
Yep.
Your move.
Nice. Evo Japan. I want to go to.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Dude,
I don't
Next
I want
year.
to go to Evo. I want to go to Japan so bad.
Next year we go.
Easy. Let's
It's always next year, to be honest. That's how it always is.
Yeah,
But
next year for sure. Yeah.
next year.
for sure. Got to make the group chat so it's real.
It'll never get out of the group chat. I remember like a lot of people like Ultima, right? You or Pico. You guys talk, and Butters especially too, you guys talk a lot about other fighting games. And you guys talk a lot about, Grand Blue or Strive or Virtua Fighter or whatever, right? And I hear a lot when Tekken's going through bad times of like, I'll just play Street Fighter, or I'll just play Multi Blood or whatever, like whoever the fuck, right? And I always told people that I'm not a fighting game player, I'm a Tekken player.
Same.
Yeah.
Without Tekken, like, as you guys, I don't know if whoever follows me on social media,
Right.
I've been living life. I've been outside. I've been dancing. I've been working on the gym, playing volleyball on occasion whenever I feel okay. Like there's a lot of things to life outside of the game, and for me personally, I don't have anything to fall back on in terms of another game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, I always joked around with Amanda, and I would say, she's like, you better come to the tournaments. I forgot if this was like before Tekken 8 came out or whatever, or before season 2. I don't remember when it was. But I'm like, if this is ass, I'm going to go to chess locals.
DreamHack Atlanta has chess at the WC.
I mean, and not in any serious capacity. I casually like chess. But it's like, to me, it's like I don't have a fighting game in mind. So there's a lot of things that Tekken taught me. I think in terms of a competitive player and in terms of a human, I'll give you a quick example. When I play pool a lot, and I started playing in leagues and competitive pool. I've been playing pool since I was 7 years old. So you give me a stick, no matter where I'm at in the world, I'm gonna mess somebody up. And I started going into tournaments, and there were high pressure situations, and it's a team format. So your team is behind you watching you play pool, and they depend on you to do whatever. And I remember, like, I would be on the last shot, right, on the 8 ball, and you're supposed to make the 8 ball to win the game.
Yeah.
And it's a pressure situation. If I miss this, everybody's disappointed, everybody's sad, everybody goes home, we don't win, right? And I would always think back in that moment, I'm like, I was on stage as CEO, and I've whooped a bunch of people's ass that I was not supposed to whoop. Like, whatever. I think about Dragonov in that situation. Like, I'm playing pool drunk in a whatever, right? I'm outside, nowhere having to do with video games, and I'm thinking about Dragonov. So Tekken taught me a lot about, like, when I'm in anxious situations, I'm like, I've been through worse, right? When something bad happens in my life, it's like I've dealt with heartbreak way worse than this. Like, to me, winning on stage and whatever meant a lot. Getting a title meant a lot. Being number one in South Florida meant a lot. And most of the times that was not in the cards for me. And so you have to deal with internally. And Tekken taught me a lot. And even though I don't play currently, maybe I will in the future. But it's invaluable, the experience that these games give you. And not only that, but the friends that I've made along the way, and the good times, and sneaking rum and coke in my flask at CEO, and me being drunk on stage and playing the stupid video game, and like,
I'm telling you, Bailey.
He'll be like, give me some.
Yeah, like, I did a celebration, whatever. I'm feeling myself, right? So I win and I'm popping off and whatever. Like, those are the things that I remember. Is like, there's so many good times and so many bad times, and I'm appreciative of everything, whether Tekken's here tomorrow or not.
That's beautifully said. Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
A few more shout outs I'm going to make as well. Hopefully I didn't forget. Shout out to True, shout out to Keldrum, and shout out, I think, again to Ericy. But yeah.
Shout
All
out
of South
to
Florida and
Also
Orlando.
shout out to Convicted of Fun for hosting the Arcade Odyssey tournaments back in like 2017 to 2020.
Oh, shout out JDCR. I'll see you on Saturday, my boy.
shout out to
Shout out to me.
shout out to True and Prophet for giving me advice on Tekken.
Yep. Also shout out to Convicted of Fun again for the Memorialized Monday tournaments at Pro Play Games as well back in like 2017 to 2019.
All right. Butters, any closing words before we put a bow on this episode and wrap things up?
I want to say thank you to all of you guys for coming out for the Tekken podcast today. I can tell like Tekken really means a lot to you all in various different ways, whether it's your complete life line or bloodline of how you were raised with it, or if it's developed you as a person, or if it's like a section in your fighting game career with your different experiences. And I think that's really valuable. And I'm happy that you guys got to be in here, because this episode isn't just about you guys, but it's more so like you have other people who are a part of this experience of Tekken, the way you guys shout out everybody. So it's like not just you, but you're also representing a bunch of people. And I really appreciate you guys for that.
And as for me, I want to thank all 4 of you gentlemen for being on, being a guest on this episode. Greatly appreciate y'all. We definitely went over time, but
I love it.
Hey, man, we definitely have a lot to talk about, man.
Yeah, that was what was it?
There was a lot.
Grand finals reset, last game, last round,
Yeah.
last touch.
I'm glad I can talk about other games that sometimes isn't Kingdom Hearts, despite me loving my favorite franchise of all time. But I'm glad I have variety.
Hell yeah.
yeah. So with that being said, hey, thank you all for watching and tuning in. Thank you guys for being a guest on this podcast episode.
Thank you for having us, brother.
Not a problem.
Thank you for having us, Senpai.
Always love it.
Thank you for having us, Butters.
Of course, of course. Hey,
With that
our
being
boy
said,
right
we do have an episode this coming Thursday, so be on the lookout for that. And with that being said, this is episode 185 of the South Florida Gamers Podcast. We are overtime, and we are signing off. Y'all have a good one.
here. Peace.
Later, everybody.
Adios, amigos.
You don't have to go home. You got to get the hell out of here.
Get the heli.
Oh, my goodness.
Man, that was a beautiful podcast. Shoot,
I've never
that was
done
a
that full action.
that was a great that was a great podcast for my first time. Not gonna lie.
Oh, let me get up, bro. I was feeling it.
Oh.
I need to smoke.
I literally,
I was eating those mints. I'm like, I can't be.
I literally just got a massage yesterday.
This one's sugar free.
Oh,
Yeah, I can
Lord.
tell by the light blue.
Yeah, the light blue is sugar free.
Oh, my goodness.
I literally just got a massage.